welcome to Metal Ben's Chronicles. Here on this Tuesday morning, technically. It's after midnight. We got Mean Metal Mike. Oh yeah, in the house. We got James G. Warrior. Keeping it real, keeping it heavy, and keeping it hard. And we got Frederick, the Thrashmaster, in the house. Rattling your fucking heads off. That's what's up. But anyways, yes, welcome to this after midnight stream. Just a random stream, really. Nothing planned, you know. Yep, I know what mate means. Yeah, Australian language isn't that hard to figure out. It's not too different from our language. But yeah, good to see you guys here. Um, anyways, what's up, everyone? How's your early Tuesday mornings so far? I know earlier I had to cut. I know earlier I had to cut ties with a couple friends. And that's what it is. It's like the way I figure it. Okay, the way I figure it is, if you're not a real friend, just fuck off. You know what I mean? Just literally fuck off. If you want to see somebody angry all the time, pissed off, you know, frustrated, depressed, fuck off. That's not what real friends do, man. Ooh, toothache suck, dude. Oh, speaking of James, I was looking at my Facebook Messenger, and well, I don't want to give your real name out on video if you don't want me to, but I'm pretty sure this is you. That sent me a band called Uniform. The track's called Dispatches from the Gutter. Pretty sure that's you. I mean, maybe it's another James. Oh, hold on a minute. Ooh, drumming video from Mean Metal Mike. By the way, shout out to Metal Madness 66. Jeff, that dude's got an awesome channel. Like throughout the work week this week, I was listening to his streams on Voivod and Enslaved. Dude, you talk about some excellent streams. Haha, I thought that was you, man. Cool. Now I know. But yeah, shout out to Jeff. Dude's got an awesome channel. Definitely deserves more subscribers. Hell yeah, man, that dude's awesome. He don't live too far from me either. So, but I'll tell you what, I'm really enjoying his channel. Like his channel is good. He should already be in the thousands when it comes to subs. That's how damn good it is. And he interviewed one guitar player from Voivod. Oh, what's his name? He, the guy that replaced Piggy. Oh, damn, I forget his nickname already. Is it Peachy? No, it's not Peachy. Chewy. That's it, Chewy. That uniform sounded pretty good, man. It was raw, aggressive, and hell yeah, kind of punky sounding. Yeah, Chewy. Yep. So yeah, I definitely got to check out some more Voivod. There's definitely albums in their discography I have not listened to. Like I know the first three albums. I think the first three albums are excellent. Um, I've listened to the Eric Forrest albums. I think those are fucking underrated as fuck. They're just they're much heavier, compared to the other Voivod albums. Yeah, I like some industrial. Like Ministry is one of my favorite bands. Yeah, I love Ministry. Oh, obviously, Killing Joke's pretty cool. Trying to think what else. Fear Factory. I love Fear Factory. Oh, I'll check that out, dude. Oh no, man, that dude's from the clips I've heard, man. That dude's a damn good guitar player. I guess Chewy was in a death metal band too before joining Voivod. Oh, I forget the name of the band too. But yeah, he does a damn good job at basically imitating Piggy's playing style, which is pretty impressive. Nine Inch Nails, yeah, I like some Nine Inch Nails. I'd have to say Broken would be my favorite when it comes to Nine Inch Nails, and it was the first one I heard way back in the 90s. Ooh, Godflesh. I haven't listened to Godflesh in years. Oh, I'm trying to think of that other industrial band. Ooh, Circle of Dust. Did you ever listen to Circle of Dust? That was one cool fucking industrial band. Screw was another good one. Going back to the 90s here. And everybody thought that was going to be the future of music. Oh, don't even get me started on today's fucking music. Dude, Circle of Dust is killer, man. You definitely got to check out Circle of Dust. I mean, it might turn you off because it's a Christian industrial band, but dude, they're fucking killer. Yeah, they're absolutely killer, man. You definitely got to check them out. Skinny Puppies. There's another one I haven't listened to in a long time. Yeah, I do, though. Going back to the 90s, I remember when everybody was saying industrial music's going to be the future of music. That didn't happen, unfortunately. We got this mumble rap that's still fucking over our goddamn heads that won't go away. KMFDM, oh, another good one. I might play some tunes here in a bit. Angel Witch, dude. Fucking Angel Witch rules. Oh, nice. Love Artillery. One of my favorite thrash bands. Didn't get their newest album yet. X. Well, the one that came out last year, I'd never got it. I heard some of it. It was all right. I mean, I only ever owned one Ramstein album, and obviously it was the one that had Du Hast on it. Ooh, by Inheritance, that's a fucking great album by Artillery. A little more melodic, you can definitely tell there's a Master of Puppets type of influence on that album. And it's produced by Fleming Rasmussen, too. Ooh, Marty Worm, that's another awesome YouTuber. I like listening to him, too. Dude used to write for Metal Maniac magazine, man. I have a couple issues still where he wrote or where his articles are in the magazines. Yeah, man. Well, that yeah, that's an interesting one because yeah, Hyrax to me is just straight up thrash. I mean, maybe on their first album it's a little crossover, but to me, nah, man, they're more thrash. Oh yeah, Marty Worm's fucking awesome, man. Hell yeah, dude. A lot of good people in the metal community. You just got to go out and find them. I mean, there's a lot of good people in this community. You just got to go out and find them. I meant to say. I mean, in my notification, I'm always getting like new channels, like in my notifications now, and I subscribe to them all because I feel like as a community, we should definitely be supporting each other. Like I'm not one of these dicks that don't subscribe to people. Yeah, probably early on. I mean, I guess like I said, the first Hyrax might have been more on that hardcore side, but like to me, their more recent stuff is straight up thrash. Yeah, I'm sub to a few non-metal channels too, like in the vinyl community that don't really talk about metal. I just think it's cool that they have these cool collections and have all this input on the music they like. But oh, cool. As long as it's old school hip hop, not this mumble rap trash. God, I want mumble rap to go away so fucking bad. And it just won't go the fuck away. And it gets millions of views on YouTube. Man, are these people that damn stupid? I never heard of him, Kendrick Lamar. I do like some old school stuff though, definitely. Like some early Dre, NWA, Naughty by Nature, the Ghetto Boys. Those were some cool rappers from back in the day. Easy motherfucking E. Boy, you know what? That would be kind of cool. I don't. That's true. I have not really seen a lot of hardcore channels on YouTube. If you're talking, I mean, if you mean hardcore music in general. Ooh, my favorite hardcore band. Oh, if this counts, I'm gonna go with Discharge. Discharge would definitely be my favorite. Yep, old school is always the best. I mean, I guess hardcore would be like Broken Bones, Discharge. I guess to an extent, the Exploited, even though there's more punk leanings. But the Exploited did get heavier, like throughout their discography. Ambix. I don't think I ever heard that one. Of course, you got Vision of Disorder, Madball, Terror, a couple other hardcore bands there. English Dogs. Oh yeah, early Suicidal Tendencies was freaking great. XL, yeah, XL's basically the brother of suicidal tendencies. But when it comes to the early suicidal, I mean, ooh, Uncle Slam, that's a good one too. In fact, I think the original bass player, I think the original bass player of Suicidal was in that band. I could be wrong. Ooh, first crust band. Oh, boy, that's a real good question. Now you got me kind of curious here. Necromand, or I'm just looking up this message Mike sent me. Necromanda's Nightjar from 1972. Yeah, I mean, Doom can be crossed. Like, Suicidal was kind of weird because, like, well, they got more funky, you know, and unfortunately put out a bad album like Art of Rebellion and Suicidal for Life. Man, them albums are terrible. Oh, cool. I got the original pressing of Join the Army. Yeah, that's a weird album because the production on that album is very guitar thin. At least I think it is. Still a good album though. Nice. Cool. Just reading the chat here, guys. Do you guys ever listen to E Force? Eric Force. I mean, yeah, it's Eric Forrest band, obviously from Voivod. Ooh, my favorite album from Surif Ungol. Probably Frost and Fire. Yeah, definitely Frost and Fire. That's such a good album. Yeah, man, I didn't realize Eric Forrest went through all that back in the '90s when he had that, or when Voivod had that accident and he was on crutches or whatever. I never knew that. Like I'm telling you, you guys definitely need to check out Metal Madness 666, or yeah, Metal Madness 66. It's a video on Voivod, man. And the Enslaved one was fucking good too. Like it really goes into detail on every album. Hell yeah, man. Steve Tucker's fucking cool. Yeah, the new Syrup. Yeah, that's definitely a good comeback album. The EP's good too, also from last year. Yeah, I think the Steve Tucker Morbid Angel's fucking as good as the David Vincent Morbid Angel. Well, besides that one Shitfest album, the Anus album. Night Demon's fucking cool. I like Night Demon. I think they just put out a new album too. I think they did. What's that one band James said? Ambiex. Going up through the comments here. Oh, I want to hear this Ambix. All right. Damn, man, you don't like none of the other Morbid Angel albums? Come on, Blessed or the Sick is fucking killer too, man. Covenant's fucking awesome. What bastards, damn. Just looking at the Ambix stuff here. Huh, interesting. I'm gonna say, man, I mean, I love all Lords of Madness too, don't get me wrong, but those are cool albums also. Like, I guess Alders of Madness has more of a thrash leaning. I mean, it's still death metal, but it still kind of has that thrash feel to it. Bunker 66. Huh, interesting. Excuse me. Dude, I think Gateway's an underrated album. Gateway to Annihilation. Nobody ever talks about that Morbid Angel album. I'm just gonna say Domination's a good album too. A lot of people hate on that fucking album. Formulous, that's another great Morbid Angel album. Now I'll admit Heretic's a little weak. That's where Morbid Angel kind of started to kind of fell. Yeah, Heretic's not that great of an album. It's okay. It's got a couple good tracks. And we don't got to talk about the fucking Anal album. That fucking piece of garbage that came out in 2011. I didn't even think the last album was that great. Like the production on it's terrible. Dude, metal elitists suck. I'm proud I got out of that. I used to be kind of that way at one time too, and it's like, fuck, dude. Doesn't change my opinion on mumble rap and this modern pop music, though. It all that shit fucking blows. I can't believe people are stupid enough to listen to it. Making these motherfucking bums famous, man. Yeah, dude, I still do not like Eludie. I mean, if people like it, hey, man, that's whatever. Hey, Striper's a cool band, though. I like Striper. Dude, the recent Striper albums have been fucking great. I would honestly say the newer Striper albums rival the old stuff. It's a little heavier, you know. Striper always had excellent guitar playing. Yeah, yeah, there's a little bit of speed metal in some of the newer Striper, especially on the Fallen album. Dude, that fucking album is a killer. I've seen the channel before, and it's pretty hilarious. Hipster Black Metal actually commented on one of my old videos. Oh, it must be from over a year ago. His channel is funny, though. See, that's a trolling channel done right. Just reading the comments. But yeah, man, I actually really enjoy the recent Striper albums. What's going on, Jeff? Welcome to the stream, dude. Zach Wild's handsome brother from another mother. That's a cool compliment. Diablo said, not my favorite. Well, definitely the weakest Slayer album. It's got a couple okay tracks on it, but I don't know. Hell yeah, they do. I love the new Striper, man. I thought they were working on another album already. I gotta check out the other Michael Sweet stuff because I swear he puts out an album every year. Because wasn't Michael Sweet doing something with George Lynch too? Which George Lynch is one of my favorite guitar players. Oh, cool. I'll definitely be getting it. It's freaking weird, man. These guys are like approaching 60 and still putting out killer music. Ooh, I'm gonna have to definitely check that out. Hell yeah. Stance Records. I need to get in there too. It's up in Lancaster. I know, Mike, you're always talking about it. Is there a couple other record shops up that way too? Up in Lancaster? Oh man, there's a lot of great Christian metal. I think Mike used to live up that way. I know he's the one that told me about Stant like a year ago. Ooh, King's X, that's a good album too, Gretchen. Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. But I think Dogman's the best King's X, or excuse me, I think Dogman's the best King's X album. You don't like King's X? I mean, I guess it's not for everyone. Anybody remember the band Galactic Cowboys? Like Galactic Cowboys was pretty much a heavier version of King's X. Oh yeah, Record Connection. I've been wanting to check that place out. Debute's damn good too. I do like the debut King's X album. Faith, Hope, Love. That's a pretty damn good album too. Airhead, Sons of Thunder. Oh, dude, Galactic Cowboys is killer, man. They're pretty. I think they're underrated, dude. That's like one of the bands that came out and should have been bigger. Getting into Kate Bush. What the fuck? Oh shit. Oh, the movie Airheads. Okay, yeah, I remember that movie. I know Lemmy made an appearance in that movie. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, yeah, definitely it's a Beatles vibe too, especially with the choruses. And the rips are definitely kind of thrashy in parts. I got a couple of their albums. I got their debut album and oh, what's the other one I have? Space in Your Face. Oh, I have another one of their. Oh, what's the other one I have? I have it on cassette tape actually. It's one of their Metal Blade albums. Like, man, I think Jeff brought it up best in his video too. You go back to the early '90s, man. There was some interesting bands coming out that had like unique styles to their playing, like Warrior Soul. That was a unique one. I definitely got to check out more of their albums. I mean, I had their debut album, but I got to check out the other ones too. Like you had bands like Warrior Soul, King's X, fucking Galactic Cowboys. Oh, what's the other band? Oh, Scatterbrain. What's going on, Ring C? Welcome to the chat room, man. Like 1990, when it comes to the first wave of thrash, that was probably like thrash at its peak. Maybe 91 to an extent, but after 91, thrash started disappearing. I mean, you still had a couple bands putting out thrash albums in the 90s, like Tankard. Like, Tankard never put out a non thrash album, you know? creator even experimented. Like all these thrash bands were experimenting after the Black Album, of course. But yet, a lot of thrash bands tried to basically create their own Black Album. '70s speed metal. Hey man, speed metal was around in the '70s. It wasn't labeled speed metal. But there were some fast stuff out there, like Deep Purple's and Rock. Holy shit, that could easily be probably the first speed metal album. Ooh, yeah, dude. Toothache suck, dude. And when you get them, it's very hard to sleep or concentrate. Oh, Agent Still's fucking awesome, dude. I love Agent Still. I haven't checked out the new Agent Still album though. The one that came out last year. Last year, I should say. I'm gonna be on for a little bit. I can send you a link if you want to come on. And if Jeff wants to come on, if he's still here. What's a wine tea from Canada? I could be wrong about that. Oh, Triumph is killer, dude. I love Triumph. All right, cool. Send Nick, or excuse me, I'll send Nick a link when he's ready to hop in. All right, cool. What's going on, Paul? How you doing, dude? Okay, I'll see if I can do that. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Gmail, email. Look, I'm not sure how to send this through or send this to Instagram. Okay. Is it? Hold on a minute, guys. I'll be back. I'm back. Can't figure out how to send this to Instagram. I know there's a way, or excuse me, I know there's a way too where you can put the link in the chat. Guess I'll just have to wait till Nick comes on. Wait a minute, what's this share thing here? Oh, okay. Apologies for that. Anyways, Thrash started before Metallica. I mean, alright. See if that works. Oh damn! I forgot I'm streaming on Instagram too. Fuck. Oh yeah, we're cool.
What's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
We both got the dark backgrounds.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
You working?
So what's new, man?
Were you working or are you? Oh, hang on.
Nah.
Hang on.
Oh,
Sorry, I had the other stream open. Yeah, I just talked to Nick. He's gonna pop on for a little bit. Were you working?
no, I'm off every Monday.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, Sundays and Mondays are usually my days off,
Oh, cool.
and we didn't. I mean, I figured I would just stream. You know.
That's all right. Oh, yeah, man. So you were talking about Galactic Cowboys. I think Nick just picked up. He just said down in Florida he picked up all the remaining stuff that he needed for them, and that's one of those bands that I had pretty much every album by because I was, I'm a huge King's X fan, and of course they were friends and they opened up for King's X a bunch, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Wally was either on a King's X album or the other way around. Doug and maybe Ty were on a King's X album. I'm gonna switch my phone here, hang on. And
Good.
but for some reason, man, and I can't say why, I had one of those. I don't know. I guess you call them purge periods. I call them purge periods, where I fucking, for some unknown reason, I went and, I got rid of a bunch of CDs. Like, I don't listen to that. I don't listen to that. I don't listen to that. I'll turn them in and get store credit or get some cash or whatever. And I fucking turned all my Galactic Cowboys shit in like a dipshit. And I don't have any of it, so I gotta buy it all again. The good thing is though that if you keep an eye out on eBay, you can usually find 4, 5, 6 CD lots of them for the $40 range. So you can get, I saw somebody had a CD lot up, and I think it had all but like 2 CDs. It was like 7 CDs for like $40. I almost pulled the trigger, but I got Maryland Death Fest coming up. I'm trying to keep a little bit of money out for, and so I didn't want to blow all my money on. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's a band that I don't know why I got rid of their stuff. I have no idea.
Yeah, I still have 3. I still got 3 of their albums.
Yeah.
I got their debut. Oh.
Space in Your Face, or
yeah, Space in Your Face. That's the other one I have. I forget the third one I have though.
Third one was called Machine Fish. Was one of them.
Yeah, that's not the one I have.
A Horse Named Bud, I think, was one, or A Horse Named something.
I think that might be it.
Was there one called a Ranch on Mars or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably had the first 4, and then which I got when they came out. You know what I mean? Because that was a band I was listening to contemporaneously at that time when they were putting stuff out. I was grabbing stuff, and then I don't know why I just didn't like. I don't know. I stayed with King's X, even though I got to admit that a lot of King's X later albums start to. The quality isn't as great. As the first 5 or 6 albums is. I'm curious to see they're actually finally putting out their 15th album in September on who is it? Like a prog label.
Huh. Is it Inside Out?
Yeah. I think it's Inside Out. Okay. But the weird thing was that they were initially going to put it out on that Golden Robot. Have you heard about that Golden Robot, that Australian label?
No, I don't think I have.
It's the weirdest thing because their big claim to fame was going to be the John Sykes solo album that's been in the works for 800 years. I think only fucking Chinese Democracy has taken longer than John Sykes' solo album.
And, it seems that way.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's like it's taken fucking forever for this album to come out. And I'm a big Sykes fan, so. Yeah. And then then something happened and something went down, and the thing's been recorded for a long, long time. And I saw a couple tracks drop, but they weren't on Golden Robot. I think he split with him or whatever. But it looks like the same thing happened with King's X. It looks like they were going to do the release of the album, and it dragged and dragged and dragged, and now they're on Inside Out. Or yeah, I think it's Inside Out. I'm pretty sure it is.
Let's see,
So
when did the last King's X come out? Like around 2000.
2008 or 9, I think 9, maybe 9 or 10. It was
Let's see, it's been a while.
yeah, it was actually called 15 XV, but it was not actually their 15th studio album. If you counted live stuff
Yeah,
and like greatest hits, it was their 15th, but it wasn't. It wasn't actually a real. It wasn't really actually the 15th studio album. And actually, that's probably their best album after, probably like Tapehead or yeah, probably Tapehead was that had like Groove Machine on it.
yeah.
That had some
Take
good stuff on it. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I'm gonna be doing I'm planning anyways to do a deep dive on that, and I was supposed to be doing it with Austin Lund. Do you know who that is?
That name sounds familiar.
The guy behind Panopticon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
but we talked about it a number of times. He was totally down for it because it's his favorite band, and they just kind of disappeared. I haven't heard from him in almost 2 months, and I already reached out to him. I'm kind of over worrying about it at this point, so probably not going to happen. I got Blut aus Nord coming up at the end of the month, which is going to be
Nice.
pretty. Yeah, it's going to be pretty deep and intense. And then I've got, I think I'm going to do either Yes or King Crimson because I like to throw some prog in there,
Right.
and one or two of the big prog bands because I've done Genesis and Marillion. Probably going to look to do. Probably going to do. I think I'm probably going to do Yes, because that was a big band for me back in the day. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say that's a band I never really dived into. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to listen to some of their albums. Now,
Well,
King Crimson listen to a lot of their albums.
yeah, Crimson. I have pretty much everything by them, although not all the live shit. I mean, they got 9 million live albums,
That's true.
which is nuts. And they put a lot of these box sets out, these crazy fucking massive box sets that I just don't. Too much, you know what I mean? Too much money, too much
Right.
for
Right.
for me anyway. Too much, But
Oh, I agree, man. Just reading the comments here. Oh, The Cure. Wait, ask him about The Cure.
yeah, you know what? I wanted to do that. I reached out to Mike twice, talked to him once in Heavy Metallurgy stream about doing a Cure deep dive, and he said he'd love to do it. And then I've never heard from him, so I don't know how to get a hold of him other than through Instagram, and he never really. Although, wait, no, he did send me his email. He did give me his email, and I sent him an email, and he never got back to me either. So, but you said something about Kendrick Lamar. That's funny. It's funny you bring that up because today when I woke up, I looked at my Instagram and I saw Steven Wilson commented that Kendrick Lamar ripped him off for his new video, this new Kendrick Lamar song, which I didn't listen to. But the video for Steven Wilson's song called Self off of that pile of shit album that he put back out, Personal Shopper, whatever the hell whatever that thing's even called. I don't even remember. It's so bad I just can't listen to it. But and ironically, I went and looked, and I'm like, "Hey, Steve, you ripped your video off of Godley and Cream's Cry, the song Cry from 25 years ago or 20 years ago." Steve always thinks he's like the original voice of things, and then he's really not. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I never heard his last solo album.
who's that, Steve?
Yeah,
It's
Steve Wilson. Yeah.
yeah, it's. I mean, some people like it because it's kind of synth pop, I guess you'd call it, but I didn't like it at all. And it's not because I'm some prog purist. I love synth pop. I love Tears for Fears. I love Depeche Mode and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
this is a derivative album. None of the songs really jump out at you. Um, Nah. It's just very meh, very meh. And the one before that wasn't that great either. To the Bone, I didn't really love that album either. It had like 3 or 4 good songs on it. The last album I thought he did that was really solid was the one with Guthrie Govan on it and Marco Miniman, that Hand Cannot Erase. That was a good album. There's a lot of good stuff on there. But I don't know. I've been a fan of Steve's going all the way back into the late '90s. 97, 98 when I discovered Porcupine Tree, and I
Yeah.
knew him, and I knew him, and I knew the band really well. I kind of did some work for them, and I use the term work loosely. I was running their street team for them, and I got to see a million shows and got to know all the guys in the band really well. And I just don't think he's doing much that's interesting the last 4 or 5 years. I just think it's almost like he's starting to repeat himself a lot. And even the synth pop album just had nothing on it that sounded very original. So for Steve to bash somebody for stealing an idea of his that he stole from somebody, I don't know if he was kidding around or what, but it didn't seem like it.
Yeah, I haven't really kept up on like what Steve Wilson's been doing. I know there's a new Porcupine Trees album coming out. I
Yeah, in
think
June,
yeah,
and they're touring the States, and they're playing big fucking places compared to where they used to play. I mean, really big. And the tickets are crazy fucking expensive. And my buddy Serge, that's on a lot of my deep dives, he grabbed us tickets, but I don't even know if I'm all that excited to go. The 2 songs that I've heard so far, didn't do a whole lot for me at all.
right. Yeah, I thought the new song kind of had like a Tool vibe to it, which I don't know. I didn't. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. That new
Mm-hmm.
track that Porcupine Trees put out.
Yeah, to me, it sounded kind of derivative of everything they've done to this point. I mean, it's not bad. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
James, you asked me which song. Go watch the video for the song "Godly and Cream." Cry. The song is called "Cry." The band is Godly and Cream, and Kevin Godley and Lowell Cream, I think their names are. They were 2 guys in 10cc, the band 10cc. And if you know 10cc, that's the band that did that amazing song, I'm Not in Love. I'm not in love, no, just because. It has that Big Boys Don't Cry, Big Boys Don't Cry, that crazy
yeah,
fucking amazing sequence in there. They're kind of like major pop savants when it comes to writing pop music. And Godley and Cream has this song called "Cry." It's a beautiful song. It's a really cool song. But the video is exactly what Wilson did 20 years later with his song "Self." It's exactly the same thing. And it's like he was bagging on Kendrick Lamar's new song that they, were copying his video. And he did say he likes the song, great song, but he said what is it? Copying somebody is the highest form of flattery, or whatever that phrase is. I can't think of it right now. I'm too tired. But yeah, man. I mean, it's like, dude, don't say that when you pretty much ripped your whole video idea off from Godly and Cream, because you did. I mean, it's obvious. If you go watch it, you'll see it. Yeah, it's not even. It's not even like, oh well, it's kind of like that. No, it's directly like that.
ooh, I'll have to check that out. But
Mm,
trying to think. So you're really into prog, right? Did you ever listen to a band called Eloy?
what is it? Eloy.
Eloy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
German band. Yeah,
Yep.
yep,
They're kind of
yeah,
like they're kind of like a German Pink Floyd. I guess you would
yeah.
kind of categorize it.
Little bit of a Genesis thing because they're pretty keyboard oriented. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I don't like them. I do. They also have a little bit of a Nectar vibe to them. The band Nectar.
Yeah.
Um, that's a band that I kind of got into, but the thing I remember most about them is that they're a little too keyboard oriented for me. Like the the bands that I like the most, prog wise, I like a good mix of and guitar and keyboards.
Right.
So for example, the early Genesis is cool because you had Steve Hackett, and Hackett's a great player and would always add tasteful stuff. I couldn't listen to them after Hackett left because they just didn't have hardly any guitar in their music anymore. And and you talk about, yes, you have Steve Howe, Rick Wakeman, Patrick Moraz,
Yeah.
Wetton. There's a good mix there. When you get into bands that are almost exclusively keyboards, like for example, ELP. I like a lot of ELP, but I don't love ELP because it's mostly keyboards.
Right.
And while they've written some killer fucking songs, Carnival 9 and fucking, what's it called? Knife's Edge and Lucky Man and all, Take a Pebble and all that stuff. There's great, great stuff there. I just can't listen to it all the time because there's just not enough guitar in there for me. And as a guitar player, dude, you want to hear riffs.
Oh yeah, definitely. You want to hear some rips, some
Yeah.
solos.
Even if it's not like super fucking heavy riffs, I still want to hear. I want to hear guitar. I don't want to hear a lot of wanky keyboard stuff. Hang on, let me.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
So, but I do know Eloy, and they're one of those bands that when I was getting into prog back in the late '70s and the '80s, because for me, I wouldn't say I got really into prog until, oh man, like probably like 78, 79 when I discovered Rush. Because
Okay.
while I don't really consider Rush a prog band, they're more like a proto. They're probably the proto prog metal band,
Yeah,
because they're
I
not
would agree.
met. Yeah, they're not metal. They're more hard rock, but they were always guitar based. You know what I mean? Until they got into the '80s stuff with the keyboards, but all their early stuff is very guitar based, very guitar influenced, and so that was my first what I would call prog band. But then I went backwards and I got into Yes and Genesis and Crimson and all those bands,
Right.
and it was kind of like and ELP and stuff like that. And I just always was kind of like, well, I want to hear something that has guitars in it. I got to hear guitars.
Oh, definitely.
And so, that's why my favorite prog bands are more the guitar oriented band. Even like the neo prog stuff, like Marillion, which is one of my favorite bands. They have a lot of great guitar in it. Steve Roberts is one of the best solo guitarists out there. I think he's just so tasteful and
That's another band I really got to dive into. Is a
ah,
Marillion.
so fucking good, dude. So good, so good. Love that fucking band.
Thoughts on
Um,
Michael Schenker? Oh, Michael Schenker is one of the greatest guitar
oh
players in
yeah,
the world.
fuck yeah, dude. Fucking Michael
Hell yeah.
Schenker's the shit. He's the
Hell, I think he
shit.
just put out a. I think he just put out a new album.
Yeah, you know what though? I'm glad you brought that up because the one thing I don't like about Michael Schenker is he puts a lot of shitty albums out now. he's
Good
he's
point.
not. They're not really that great.
Right. I mean, I thought his last album was all right. Immortals. Is that what? I think it's called Immortals. But I would agree, his best stuff was definitely back with UFO.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how Rock Bottom goes. I used to know how to play. I'm laying down. And it's hard to play the guitar when you're laying down. I have an Ovation acoustic. You know what that is, right?
Oh yeah, I've heard of them before. Yeah.
It has the round back on them.
Okay. Cool.
So it's got like a. Can you see that?
Mm,
No.
not really.
Can you see it now?
Okay, now I see it. Yeah.
See, it's got that plastic back. So if
Okay.
you're laying down, it's almost impossible to fucking play because it slides all over the place. So if you're
Yeah. Peter Green. He was the original guitar player for Fleetwood Mac, right? Yeah.
he was, yeah.
I mean, I've checked out. I actually think that Fleetwood Mac's better. I mean, got a
I
little bit
was,
more grit to it. The
oh
Peter
yeah,
Green.
the
Yeah.
early Fleetwood Mac was very blues based, man.
Yep.
Um, that was what was it? Oh well, that was. You ever hear that song? Oh well, that was a little riff from that there. But that
Okay.
early Fleetwood Mac's pretty good. I was I was monkeying around with. I can't tell if this is in tune. Hang on. I was monkeying around with. You remember that song off of Rage for or not? Yeah, Rage for Order. I will remember.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's a good. I got to get that again. I used to have Reach for Order.
That's a great album, man.
It is. I got to
That might
get.
actually be my favorite. That's
Boy, that's a good question. I like the Warning a lot too. You know what? Reach for Order might be the best Queensryche album now that I think about it.
it's so good, man. So many good songs on there, like New
Right.
Rigel and Surgical Strike and Chemical Youth. I think Chemical Youth's on there, right? Yeah, I think it is.
I
Fuck,
think yeah.
I will remember is great. Dreaming Infrared's on there, man. Gonna Get Close to You, which is was kind of their attempt to get a radio song, but it's still a great song, man.
Yeah. Isn't that a
That's
cover? Ain't that a
yeah, it
cover?
is. No, it's I don't. Well, it might be a cover, but it was not written. It was written Lisa Dalbello. You're right. I think it was Dalbello. I think it was a cover. You're right. But I don't know that it was like a. It wasn't a real popular song. It was kind of like almost like a real obscure song by like a. I think it was Dalbello, like a female singer did that.
I
Dalbello was.
think so.
I think that's who it was. Yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of killer tracks on there, man. But it's also kind of really hard to beat out the Warning. Man, the Warning is so good.
Oh, Prophecy. Oh my God.
Roads to Madness, dude.
Oh, that's another good.
Oh my God.
That is a
Pro-
great album.
Prophecy, Take Hold of the Flame.
Another one. I
Um,
like.
what else? Oh, NM156.
Yep.
And forces
Yep.
master of races revealed and forces. Man, and then of course the fucking EP is almost untouchable, man.
Man, that EP.
The lady wore black. I used to. The funny thing is, years ago. Now we're talking shit, dude. Have you always lived in Hershey?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I've
you
only
aren't.
been out here I've been out here since 2008.
Where'd you come from?
I used to live near Pittsburgh.
Okay, so you're
A
more
little,
western PA.
yeah,
Dude.
a little
Okay.
town called. Yeah, I grew up in a town called Somerset.
Yep. Yeah, I know what's up. Yep.
Yeah, that's where
But
I'm originally from.
Well, back in the day, I used to sing for a couple bands. There was a band called Red Light District was one of them. There was another band called Animation, and we used to do a lot of covers. And that the when we the second iteration of the band, we started doing some Queensryche stuff around that period of time, 85, 84, 86. And I used to be able to do the Tate voice. I can't touch it anymore. Partly because of my health issues, because I have this disease that kind of fucked my mucus producing parts of my body. It fucked it all up. And so like my voice has gotten hoarser and hoarser and rougher over the last 5, 6, 7 years because of this disease that they couldn't diagnose and finally did. But
that's man.
yeah, I used to be able to do the fucking, the Lady Wore Black, the Lady Wore Black, but I can't get up to that note now. It's like I try and I'm like, right when I go to try and hit it, I feel my voice is gonna
I mean,
just.
I hear stories from people that are older than me that talk about like when all that stuff was coming out.
Uh,
I'm trying to think. I think it's Scott Waters. I don't know if you know the YouTuber Scott Waters.
I know the name, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know he was saying. I think it was him. Like when that EP first came out, he was just completely blown away by it because of the vocals.
What? Say again?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, he was telling me like he was really blown away when that EP first came out. The first, the Queensryche EP when it first came out back in
Mm-hmm.
'83. Like he
Uh-huh.
was completely blown away by the vocals on that EP.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, back when Tate was when the screamers were all coming out, all the screamers, right? You
Yeah.
had the guys like Jason McMaster from Watchtower and Dangerous
Ooh,
Toys.
another good one.
You had guys like
Midnight.
Midnight from Crimson, okay, or
Yep.
from Crimson Glory, fucking amazing. And you had fucking John Arch from Fates
Oh,
Warning, and Ray Alder even in the first
yep.
two albums was screaming. And you had all these crazy fucking high pitched guys, and I love that shit. I love that shit. James LaBrie on the first couple of Dream Theater albums, that stuff.
Right.
But it's hard now for me to listen to some of that. Some of it, I really got to be in the right frame of mind, or I got to be ready. But I will say, in my opinion, Tate was the OG best of all of them. And I love all those guys. I love Arch. I love Midnight. I fucking love Midnight. And he might have been the most histrionic and just amazing of all of them once he came out. But he was so troubled, and his career didn't last very long, sadly.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it was he was rough. And then you had John Oliver too, man. Fucking John Oliver. Oh my God. But John Oliver was a little bit different in that, he could do the screamy sort of thing, but he always sort of had that raspy, more vicious sound to his voice. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Like you'd think of stuff like the, Sirens or the Dungeons of Calling or,
John
you know,
Oliva.
oh man, that dude when he
That's
was in his
another.
prime.
That's another voice I fucking love. Is John
Ah,
Oliva's voice,
so
especially in
good,
his
man.
prime, man.
Oh, in his prime, that dude was fucking just unreal. So damn good. And I got to get some of the what's the project that he put together after Sabotage? What the fuck's that called?
Well,
John
there was
Oliver's John
there
Oliver's
was.
Pain.
Oh
It's
yeah,
called
that's
John
John
Oliver's Pain.
Oliva's Pain. Yep,
There's some
John
fucking great.
Oliva's.
There's some very good albums there, man. But I mean, when you listen to John Oliva on Hall of the Mountain King, man, he's almost untouchable. He's almost
Right.
untouchable. That album is so vicious and nasty and heavy and dark and yet still so melodic and tuneful. Like, fucking Strange Wings, man. You
Oh, that's
fly
a.
strange wings. I can't even.
Yeah, that's such a cool song.
Or 24 Hours Ago. Holy
Ooh,
fuck, man.
that
Brutal.
was actually that was actually the first Sabotage song I ever heard way back in the late
Ah,
'80s.
that's a good one, man. I actually heard them. The first time I heard of them was at the beach. We went to the beach and we ran into a buddy of ours that we used to run into at this metal club all the time. And he was down there and we ended up staying. We didn't really have a place to stay. We went down there just figuring we'd try to rent a place and we couldn't find anything. It was like senior week or something like that. And we ended up running into him and he was playing Sirens the whole time. He had a boombox with Sirens on it.
Such a good album.
And I'm like, man, who the fuck is this? And it's like, whoa, okay, I got to get that. Because that came out right around the same time that, I'm not sure on the year on that. Was that 85 or 86?
'83, I think.
Oh, is it 83? Okay. So
Yep.
that might have been out. You're right. I think it was 83. That might have been out a year and a half or so But you had stuff like fucking Fates Warning, Spectre Within, or Night
Ooh,
on Brocken. Yeah,
yep,
and you had, Metallica was at probably Ride the Lightning, or maybe Masters was 86, right?
yep.
Yeah. So it would have been a little before then. I think this was 80. I think this was 85. So that might have actually been out 2 years. And that band was just that's a band I really want to do a deep dive on. But Alan from Let's Talk Metal sort of kind of beat me to it. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Somebody said something about doing a Queensryche ranking. I don't tend to do rankings on my channel because everybody else does them.
That's true.
So for me, I kind of like to do the
The
deep
deep
dives and
dives.
talk about every album and kind of do it. And I don't know if you've watched any of my stuff yet, Ben, but
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
oh
you know,
yeah. I've
I
been
get
watching it this week.
yeah, I get fucking deep. I get real deep on them, and generally look at pretty much every track on every album, um, and that I think that's a little cooler. Yeah, they run a little long, but they're pretty informative and they're
Right.
very deep. There's no doubt they're deep.
I
That's
enjoyed them, man. I think they're really good.
I appreciate that, brother. But I mean, that's more my thing than doing the rankings. I mean, I could sit and go maybe give you, some of these bands that I do, a lot of these bands that I do, it's almost impossible for me to rank albums by them because I generally love everything. You know what I mean? So, for example, if you said to me, "What's your, rank the Rush albums?" Okay, well, if I did it today, there's a real good chance that in another 6 months to a year, it might be somewhat different. Probably not the first five or six,
Yeah,
but something else in there might suddenly that I had at number 7 might have dropped to number 13, and number 16 might have jumped up to number 10. You know what I mean? It's just how
that's
I hear
true.
things differently. It's just how I roll. So that's why I choose not to really do the ranking thing because there's Pete Pardo does those on Sea of Tranquility,
Yep.
and I just
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do it,
yeah.
and it seems like when it comes to ranking, it's
Mm-hmm.
like these people rank the same band. They don't like go outside the box. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, yep.
Now I know Pete Pardo does. He definitely goes outside the box with his rankings. But a lot of them, like, okay, it's the
How
same
many?
bands like Metallica,
Yeah.
Megadeth.
Yeah.
It's like how many times do we really need to see that? I
Yeah.
mean,
See, you're
I've done
not.
it on my channel too
I know. I
in the
know.
past.
Well, you figure those are the ones that are going to bring the most eyes. But like
Yeah.
for example, the deep dive I did on Saturday night was on a band that a lot of people barely know or don't know enough about or have only heard a little bit about. And it's like, well, okay, it's probably not going to get the number of views that if I did fucking one of the I don't know whatever Five Finger Death Punch. Well, I don't listen to that shit, so
Me either. I
I'm
can't
never gonna.
stand that
Yeah,
band.
I'm never gonna do. I'm never gonna do a deep dive on the obvious bands, some Metallica, Megadeth. I'm gonna do a deep dive on Forbidden. Why? Because
Ooh,
people
that would
know
be a cool.
about it. Yeah, people know about it, but they don't know enough about it. You know what I mean? They're
That's
not.
true.
They're not. Or maybe something like Laz Rocket or
Ooh, that's
um,
rocking.
even a band like Testament that I really, really love. I'm
Yep,
probably not going to do a deep dive on them because it's just kind of too obvious. Um,
true.
granted, I
You got
did one on. Granted, I did do one on Genesis, but my prog bands, I'm going to do the obvious ones because I'm not going to have a lot of traffic on those anyways. And I do those because those are labor of love type things. Rush. Okay, Rush is kind of obvious, but I did two. I did one on Skinny Puppy. How many fucking people are gonna out there gonna search that out? You know what I mean? Or
that's very true.
Frontline Assembly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't heard them in years. I do remember that name though.
Well, they're coming. They're coming to Baltimore, I think, next month, or maybe July, June or July. I can't remember, but yeah, I mean, when I do, or for example, when I do a metal band, I'm gonna try hard to not do the real obvious shit. Now, I do want to do one like on King's X. Okay, well, they're not a tiny band, but they're not a giant band.
Right.
Or Fate's Warning. Okay, most metalheads know about Fate's Warning, but unless you're a prog metal nerd like me, do you really know about them? Probably not.
Pretty sure, right.
Yeah, so I mean, and again, I have to really like them. I may cheat here and there. Maybe I'll eventually do one on Death just because they're so important, or maybe I'll do one on Rainbow or something like that. But those will be like when I've run out of other weird shit to do. Like I'm gonna do one on Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. How many people really?
Ooh.
Yeah, how many people really know about Frank Marino's entire catalog? Probably not very many.
No, that dude's such an incredible guitar player.
Fucking amazing guitar player, man.
He's he's probably one of the best, like easily top 5. I
Well,
would say when it comes to playing.
I would say in the 70s, there wasn't very many guys that could touch that guy for speed and chops
Right.
and all that stuff. I mean, until Eddie Van Halen came along, and here's another one, the band Zebra. How many? Okay, maybe you've heard Who's Behind the Door if you kind of are into music, or maybe you might have heard Tell Me What You Want.
Yep.
But how many people really know about that band and are going to go check them out unless I do something and somebody goes, oh yeah, man, that Jeff guy said these guys are killer. Maybe I should check them out.
Oh yeah,
Um,
man.
Like they just played M3 over the weekend. The M3 festival down in Maryland, the hair
Oh.
metal festival, and they aren't really a hair metal band at all, in my opinion.
No.
But they're an '80s band. Their first album came out in '83, and man, Randy fucking Jackson is 67 years old, almost 68, and that voice, I was stunned. I'm like, holy shit! His falsetto, that high, tell me. I can't even do it because it's
What
so
you
fucking
want?
high. Yeah, it's like, tell me what you want. I can't
Yeah.
even get. I'm 2 tones off on that. But dude, that guy still fucking sounds amazing. I was like, what the hell? How is he doing that? And he's an amazing guitar player and killer songwriter, and they sounded fucking awesome for a 3-piece. I was like, wow. And I'll tell you who else sounded really good at that thing. Because I watched a couple clips to see, who played and all that. And it was, some standards, like Kix is always there because they're a Maryland band and they have a night that's all for themselves. And I love Kix, man. They're a great band. They're a lot of fun rock and roll stuff. But there was other shit like, I can't remember who all was there. But I believe one of the headliner nights was Tesla. I think might have been one of them, and I like Tesla, man. They're a good band. They haven't really done anything that's interested me in a while after their first 4 or 5 albums, but
Right.
they still sound good and they still put on a great show. But I'll tell you who fucking sounded amazing was Tom Kiefer. Holy shit, was he fucking heavy blues? He sounded,
Cinderella,
dude.
yeah.
He sounded fucking incredible. He opened up with "Save Me."
Oh,
I think it was.
that is a good track.
I was like, dude, and it was so heavy and dark and bluesy and fucking killer, man. And his voice sounds amazing. And he had a lot of problems with his voice. I think he had to have a couple surgeries at one point. But he sounds good now. And I'll tell you who else sounded good, man, was fucking Lizzie Borden. Lizzie Borden sounded great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. What's going on?
Hey.
Man?
Cool. What's up?
There, that took longer than I thought. It's a 57-minute fucking collection update
Uh-oh.
again.
Jesus Christ. Well,
I got so much of this shit to go through. Like, all right, everything crossed off on here. If you can make that, that's what I've listened to, and then there's everything else.
Jesus.
That's,
But I
that's
thought you only bought like 10 CDs when you were down in Florida.
every hour. Yeah, 10 CDs every hour. Yeah. How did you miss that part? That was kind of crucial.
I did miss that part, yes, sir. Well, we already went through this on Saturday night when we talked about your.
I brought it up. I brought it up in that video too. I was like, yeah, I mean, Jeff may have called me on some
A little bit of this,
whatever.
A little bit on this, a little bit. Yeah.
So,
Holy fucking shit!
I don't see it as a problem. It's not a problem.
Yes, no. Hey, by the way, I don't. You probably were busy, but Jimmy, you know Jimmy, right?
Yeah. I saw he did an MDF stream. I just saw
Yeah,
it.
he did.
Man, like honestly,
did.
if I wasn't editing, I would have been in there.
Yeah, it was about 4 hours. It was just him and the two guys. He had said something about me joining, but I think they got a little long winded. They kind of went into the past history because the two guys that he's flying in are buddies of his, and one of them now lives, I think, in Baltimore or Philly. He lives somewhere near me, and then the other dude, I think the one dude's in DC and the other dude's in Philly, and they're the two dudes that he's like coming to the festival with, right?
Yeah.
And so they kind of those two dudes have apparently done numerous MDFs, like 5 or 6 of them. So they talk about their previous ones, which one of them was the one that I went to because I only went to one, which is fucking unreal that I lived that close and I didn't. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. That's pretty
I mean,
silly,
honestly,
but
like for years, like I know John and I debated about it because we'd look at the lineup every year, like yeah, we're not going to go to this fest, more than likely, but we're going to look at the lineup, and every year, like, fuck, man, that is, dude, like literally every band I want to see is there again.
well, the one year they had, I want to say it was 15 or I think it was 15.
Uh-oh.
We lost Ben. Front row.
Uh-oh. Oh,
There he
there he
is.
is.
All right.
Good.
You're back.
No picture, but we can hear you.
Oh, that's
Yeah, we
weird.
don't have a picture on you.
Yeah, it doesn't even show your logo. There, all right, there's your logo.
Now your logo.
That's gone.
Well, we're on. When you figure it out, we're on. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I think it was 2015, maybe 2014. I can't remember. I remember seeing that they had fucking My Dying Bride, and I was like, okay, I'm going, and I got all set to get tickets, and out of nowhere they fucking canceled, and I was like, oh man, that was the band I really wanted to see. They were the headliner, and I think what happened with me and not going to a bunch of these, Nick, was that I was in transition with in the I'd say the 10, 11, 12, 13 years. I was transitioning out of my marriage. I had preteens, kids that were like in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I had a new condo that I had built and had a lot of money sunk into, like fucking, like we're talking, I bought a house during the Obama crazy fucking Obama thing where the real estate went nuts, where it was like at its highest point, and I was paying like $1,300 a month for a condo, plus expenses and living on my own. I had a good job though; I was making good money. But I think the thing that I kept like looking at was, well, all right, and I don't remember what the tickets were, but I don't know, maybe $120. I can't remember. But I won't lie to you. There was a lot of times I'd look at the lineup and be like, who the fuck is that band? Who the hell is that band? Who's that band? And I just was like an idiot. Instead of going, well, just go check them out, I didn't. You know what I mean? And it was like I should have, but I didn't. And I don't know why I didn't do that. But I didn't end up going down until 17. Was my first one, and that was the Candlemass Nightfall set.
Oh, really wish
Well,
I'd seen that one.
It was great, except for Mats Levens was singing, and he was good. Don't get me wrong, he was solid live, but I don't know, there was something that didn't fit. I can't explain why. It just didn't. It didn't. And Per Weberg was playing bass because Leif wasn't traveling at that point, so it was Per from Opeth. Yeah. Well, Leif had some issues, man. I think he had like depression things going on, or he had some kind of like weird stuff happening. I think he was trying to get sorted out medically, and he just wasn't flying on planes, and
I have the one EP that Mats Levin is on, the House of Doom EP, and
right,
he just doesn't fit. He doesn't sound doomy enough.
No, exactly. I have Death Thy Lover. I have both of them, that House of Doom and Death Thy Lover.
I think I have that one.
Death Thy Lover's a little better, but it just doesn't sound right, man. I mean, I'll be honest with you. They've had a lot of good vocalists, and I kind of hate to say this. I know this is not the popular opinion, but I kind of like fucking Johan better than Mark Messiah. I do.
it depends. Like, I mean, Johan, he has the more baritone range. It's more
Mhm.
gruff.
Right. I like that gruffiness.
Generally will gravitate to that style of vocal more, but I really like the Messiah stuff. Like,
the material's so good.
oh, dude,
I mean,
Tales and
Tales,
fucking
Nightfall.
Nightfall. Ancient
And,
Dreams is pretty good too.
that's good. That's very good. Yeah, and even the white
Yeah,
album is not bad. It's not bad.
there we go.
There you go. Now you're back. Oh.
And nope, too soon.
Ben, what's happening, bro?
I think spotty internet.
That's weird though. We're perfectly fine.
But yeah, the White Album's good. Dude, that song Black Dwarf is,
Yes, love that song.
dude, that is such a ripper of a fucking song.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And the rest of the album's not bad either. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not on Nightfall's par.
I'm back.
I mean, yeah, there you go.
There
dude.
we go.
Internet
happened?
problems.
Oh, you have an internet
My
connectivity
internet,
issue.
It froze up.
Ah,
I'm
okay.
gonna have to.
We were
I'm gonna have
we
to
were just talking
this.
about Maryland Death Fest because one of our buddies, Jimmy, put up he did a sort of a pre-fest thing because dude, that's 18 days away, man.
Yeah, that's
Crazy,
I
crazy.
wish
I mean, well, I'm kind of hoping like they just take the year off, and then kind of get reset and come back in 2024. Like,
Yeah.
That's my hope, because I mean it's become such a huge thing. I can't imagine, like, I know they sank a lot of money, especially this one, and the fucking setbacks, with COVID and everything.
Yeah, that really hurt. That
hurt
hurt them financially pretty bad. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think maybe a year off.
And I also think too that not only did they probably get into a bit of a financial bath with this, or at least they didn't make the kind of profits they would have expected to or anticipated to. But I think the other problem was too that they had a nightmare of 2 years of trying to get this all sorted with visas and all the paperwork and all the things that they covered. Like they went into the Niflheim thing a little bit, where one of the guys didn't want to get vaxxed, or some of the guys weren't vaxxed, and they're like, we're not going through that again. If they don't want to come play, we're not spending more money. We've already done this, already spent this much money, and fuck that. They probably went through a lot of that with some of these other bands.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's always issues anyway. Like 2019 Vomitory, they were supposed to be one of the headliners on one of the days, but they couldn't make it in because, well, they had got their visas for just traveling and such and being able to play. They didn't get one for a merch visa, and it was an oversight. So they stayed in Quebec and played Quebec Death Fest, and it kind of worked out because Immolation got to play 2 sets. They got to play one at the Ram set and one at the Soundstage, and I was like, well, more Immolation, okay.
Yeah, what's bad about that, right?
Nothing, because they played different songs too. It was like, holy shit, really?
Wow.
I mean, they played a couple of like the main songs in their set, but it was like, yeah, we got a bonus set, so we might as well play some different shit. And
what's going on, Ryan?
Yeah, I looked at the set times finally and everything, and I'll tell you right now, as much as I desperately want to see Dismember, I really want to see Dismember on Saturday. I really like Sunday or Friday's shows better, like overall, as far as the lineup. You know what I mean?
Man, Friday is like, I think, like Noon, John and I are going to sit down and actually like go over it. Like, all right, we're like maybe like a dry erase board. Like, all right, we're here, and this band's playing here. We need to get here, but also this band's playing here at this time.
Yeah,
we're gonna try to route ourselves, but I think Friday, maybe one stop at the Soundstage because I want to see No Mas, because that fucking awesome new album just rips, and they're from DC too, so they're kind of an area band.
Yeah, they are.
But the rest of the day, probably just going to be at the fucking Edison lot because literally everyone I want to see is playing.
Yeah, when I looked at it, I'm gonna be totally blunt with you, man. I didn't see anything. Ryan, Your
What's
fucking
up?
headset's super fucking loud, dude.
Again.
Yeah, man.
I
It's like
Hey,
taking my
this is it's slow.
turn
I'm like,
turn your
ugh.
listen. Turn your volume on your PC. Turn it down.
I'm on my
your
phone.
master volume.
I'm on
Oh,
my
you're
phone.
on your phone.
Oh, oh,
Well, turn your volume down a little bit, like your overall volume, because you're getting like a. Well, that's a little better.
Okay.
All right, that's better. Whatever you
okay.
did there, it's better.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
what was happening is you have it so loud that when you come on, it sounds like. That's all we hear. White noise.
maybe he's skiing right now. You don't know he's not skiing.
No, he could be
In
skiing. That's
Texas?
true.
In Texas? Are you kidding me?
Do you guys got like some mountains? I don't know. They can put some fake snow on that shit. I don't know how you guys do in Texas.
Speaking of skiing, man. Speaking of skiing, Nick, I gotta send you this. But have you seen that fucking Instagram page called Jerry of the Day?
No.
Oh my god, dude! It's the fucking most hilarious fucking thing ever. It's people wiping out on skis, like trying to do shit that they just absolutely shouldn't be doing. And it's literally like people tumbling down mountains and shit and doing flips and shit and fucking wiping out. And there's nothing more hilarious than watching somebody almost die on a skiing incident, man. Dude, I'm not lying to you. The other night, I literally was crying, like crying fucking tears. I couldn't stop laughing. Brian, I was sending them to Brian. Brian's like, dude, they just are getting better and better. He's like, I gotta go check this out. I'm like, bro, I gotta stop watching. I cannot fucking breathe. Like I couldn't breathe. I stopped watching because I could not fucking catch my breath, man. It was like insane. I'll send you the link to it. It's so good, man.
I mean,
but yeah, I was gonna
like
say that
Phil videos. So,
well, I was gonna say on the Maryland Death Festival, we could wrap that, but I didn't. Other than the Thursday night pre-show thing with Mortiferum and Skeletal Remains, I didn't really see any bands there that I had any real interest in seeing. Which I just there's a couple names I know, but a lot of them I don't know, and I'm just like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna fall all over myself to get a ticket for that because it's sold out, right? I think the Soundstage and Ram's Head are theoretically they're sold out, but I heard from Jimmy that if you contact them, they will sell you a ticket to Ram's Head live still. So like the first night is what Ruins of Beverast, I think, and
oh god, I'm trying to find the man. Everyone posts on this fucking MDF page, so it's kind of hard to even keep up with that shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ruins of Beverast and there's one other band on Friday night I wouldn't mind seeing, and then there's like Sacramentum and Dark Fortress on Sunday, and I think there's like two bands on Saturday night that look pretty good too, but I'm not going out of my way to grab those. I may just be getting Edison lot tickets and call it a wrap, you know what I mean?
I mean, I get it. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, isn't Violence playing at Maryland Death Fest?
Yeah, they're doing the Power Plant show by themselves on
Is that the
Saturday night?
Friday? Saturday?
Oh, no, you're right. It's Friday. It's Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. And I wouldn't mind seeing that. That I wouldn't mind seeing. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Sean's vocals, I just almost feel like I got to see Violence once just to experience it. You know what I mean?
I mean, if I can make that one, I'm trying to. Where the fuck is that picture of the set times? I gotta save that shit. Why the fuck didn't I save that?
Where
shit?
it's on Facebook, right on the front.
I'm trying to find it on Facebook, but again, it's still
actually, you know what? Go to Maryland Death Fest website. It's the first thing there when you pull it up.
Oh, perfect. All right.
Because I was just looking at it. By the way, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm hold on. I'm making sure I save this fucking image real quick too. But
I started listening to that new Cosmic Putrefaction. That's fucking killer, dude. That is killer. Yeah,
they finally
so
right.
Good.
The thing they did right, and I mean, I like the one before. I only have the one before it, and I thought it was pretty fucking amazing. But they produced it much better because when you have that many layers because there's a fuck ton. Like
Oh, yeah.
vocally, guitars. There's, I mean, there was even some
Synths,
extra
all the
instrumentation.
synths.
Yeah, there's definitely synths. There's a fucking tambourine and like acoustic something. I don't know. Like the dude
Yeah.
likes to layer shit. But
yeah, sure.
they got it produced right this time, and that made a world of difference because you can actually hear pretty much
Yep.
everything. Like,
Yeah, it's not as chaotic sounding as the first one. There's the
oh,
first one had a little bit more of a ear fatigue thing going on with it.
see, I still got to get the first one, but that second one was what turned me on to him. Was like, dude, this is wild, and that was like right around the time I was really getting into Blood Incantation, so perfect timing on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun album, but yeah.
So did you find it?
Well, all right, yeah. Now, what day were you talking about? You didn't
Well,
see
Who's playing at the Rams Head Live Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I think the
Friday, Saturday,
Friday's
Sunday.
Ruins of Everest.
Yeah, Ruins of Everest, and man, they go on at fucking after midnight.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see. Doors are at 8 p.m. on on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and let's see. 8:55 to 9:35 is Spite, then Panzerfaust, then Ockleys, which I definitely want to see, and then Ruins
Right.
of Everest. And then
Achilles and Ruins are the two I'd really want to see. I don't know the other two much, and I can live without them. What's on Saturday?
looks like Saturday is Cross Spitter, which I'm not familiar with.
None of them.
Suffering Hour, which I wouldn't mind checking them out, depending on
None of
what's.
them.
No, probably gonna. Well, I don't know. No, I'll probably miss them because Dismember goes on at 9:25, and no fucking
Oh
way.
yeah, right. No way.
Uwata is on at
Oh,
11:20.
that's who I would love to see. They are so good live, man.
And Necrophobic. Closes
I'd like
the
to
show.
see them. Like to see them too.
Great. And
And then
trying to see if there's-
Sundays, Dark Fortress and Sacramento, right?
Yep. And Pro Fanatica and Devil Master. Man, Devil
Yeah.
Master being on the Ram's Head?
Yeah, I'm surprised by that, dude. I saw them open Decibel Fest pre-show party to a tiny little, and they were absolutely terrible.
Oh,
So bad. I thought they were awful.
See, there is a
But-
bit of overlap, though, in terms of the power plant on those days, because power plant looks like most of their shows
Exhorter.
start around like 10:30, 10:40.
Right.
Violence is on Friday. That's 10:40 to 11:30, and that would be right around the same time as Ockleys. Or no, well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, you might be able to catch a little bit of it. Like if everything goes according to schedule, if you fucking beat feet from the fucking power plant all the way to the Ram's Head, you can still catch most of Ockleys.
I don't think they're that far. They're not that far from each other. I don't think.
I think
right?
those are all in that square area.
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah. The big one is Edison Lot's the one that's like out away from stuff.
Yeah, you got to take the bus. That's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
Fucking school bus packed with fucking sweaty metal dudes that all smell like fucking armpit and fucking onions and balls.
And I'll just throw this out to you, but this past weekend, I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, was the Cruise to the Edge, which is the Yes headline, but they didn't headline this. It's a prog cruise,
Jeff,
okay? And
you're like really loud and fuzzy right now.
oh, hold on.
There you go.
It's
That's
in it was stuck in the crook of my neck there. So cruise to the it was in my neck fat.
I bet it smells wonderful.
Oh, it smells great. But anyway, Cruise to the Edge was Thursday. I think it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And a buddy of mine went. And I actually texted him. He's like, hey, I'm in Florida right now. I'm getting ready to get on the boat tonight. And I'm like, what boat? What are you talking about? Oh, we're going to Cruise to the Edge. I'm like, oh, okay. But it's a prog cruise. And it was like bands like Yes, Marillion, Haken, Al Di Meola, which is kind of weird. Who was the other big headliner? Transatlantic was one of the big headliners with Portnoy and that, And then it was they also had like Pain of Salvation actually played, which is interesting because they don't usually do it. Anyways, long story short, I hadn't heard from my buddy for a couple days because he was out to sea, obviously, and I guess you can't use your phones when you're out there. And he hits me up yesterday late, and I'm like, "Hey, are you did you get back or when do you get back?" And he texted me last night. He's like, "Well, 2.5 years or 2 years, I made it, and not any longer." He says, "I got the fucking vid." And I'm like, "Uh-oh." And here, check this shit out. Apparently, someone got on there. You were supposed to be vaxxed and you were supposed to have voucher cards, but at a pre-show party, a bunch of fucking people were at the pre-show party that were not vaxxed and weren't whatever. They weren't checked. They fucking spread it. Dude, no lie. Like 62 people on the cruise already have it now. Eddie Trunk was on there interviewing all the bands. Guess who has it? Eddie Trunk just posted about it on his fucking Instagram today. And it's like, I'm not laughing at that. Don't get me wrong, because I had it and was damn near felt like I was going to die from it. But, I mean, it's like, I don't know, man. That's the one thing that's worrying me, Nick. I'm not going to lie to you, man. The Edison lot, I'm a little more comfortable about, but I do feel
I might be pushing my luck, but, I mean, I'm back. I'm boosted. You know, I may have already had it too,
and you don't even know, right? Yeah,
I don't like. You just like, I mean, that whole 2 years. Anytime you got sick, is like vid.
Yeah,
is it,
yeah.
The only time I ever gotten sick was I had the stomach virus.
See, I got a stomach virus too, but I knew that wasn't like a symptom, so I was like, maybe that's something else.
That's probably not COVID, because what the COVID that I had, which I had. The fucking evil one. I had the Delta in November, and when I had it, how about it, Nick? You know, I was fucking deathly ill, and I mean, my dad was in the hospital for about 5 weeks out of 6. My landlord died from it. He's the one that brought it in the house, and I was in the hospital twice for the night, like not overnight, but for the whole day. And I got to tell you, I've never been that sick, and it started up here in my head. And that went in my throat, and then it went down into my lungs. And when it got in my lungs, man, it just would not let go. And I probably had it for about 5 weeks before I finally started to clear up. And the problem is I have residual problems from it. I have a weird paralyzed diaphragm. My right side of my diaphragm is paralyzed from all the coughing. And they don't know what caused it. And they don't know if it's ever going to resolve without surgery. And I'm like, I'm short of breath all the time now. It's like, what the fuck happened to me? And they're like, we don't know. This is one of those unanswerable questions about COVID that everybody responds to it differently. Some people get it and barely even know they had it. Other people get it and get fucking viciously sick. Some people get it and they're over it in a week. Some people have it for 4 weeks.
It's a shitty cunt of a virus.
It really is. Yeah. So,
yep.
If I come down, I'll be letting you guys know a day or so ahead. Hey, I'm heading down, but I may not. It's unlikely that I'll be a guy that's pushing up to be near the stage. If I gotta hang back to watch, I probably will.
I'm not that guy anymore, just because I don't want to get hurt. Like, that's my fear now, because I turned into a big pussy. I was like, no, I want to be able to walk out of this fucking show. Like, if I hang back, I'm still gonna hear the same music. I just won't be able to see every bead of sweat that's dripping off of a band. I was like, I don't fucking care about that. Let me hang back. I'm not gonna get in the fucking pit. I'm too old for that shit.
There's no way I can.
I'm with you, Jeff. I mean, that's generally where fucking Noonan hangs out.
It's just not worth it to me, man. And I don't want to be. No offense, but I guarantee you there ain't gonna be a lot of people wearing masks down there. I just guarantee it, and especially on the outside stuff. And I just, whether they work or they don't, I kind of tend to believe that they probably don't.
But I mean, in terms of like restricting like a filter, I mean, right. I mean, in terms of like just a basic test, they do work. But
it helps if you're wearing. It helps if you're wearing and you're not coughing, obviously, and spewing. But I mean. I can guarantee there ain't gonna be a lot of people that do it. And in fact, my buddy was like, I had my fucking mask and nobody was wearing them on the boat. And I kept saying to my girlfriend, I should wear my mask. And I'm like, well, there you go, man. He's like, now I wished I wouldn't have gone. He's supposed to go to the Marillion weekend in Montreal. I said, and he's like thinking about cancel. I'm like, well, if everyone else gets it on the boat like you got it, Marillion might be canceled. They may not be going. It's the reality of it. It could happen. So
Yeah.
we're not through this, man. It's
No.
not. It's not gone.
No, it's not. It's not over.
We're on the fringe. Like I know, like my brother-in-law likes to study up on like virology in terms of like how viruses mutate and like different strains and shit. And I guess there's already been another strain that's in Europe, but so far it's kind of stayed there. Like we haven't got a lot of cases here. So hopefully that shit doesn't spread again. Hopefully, but I mean,
I think we're on our 5th variant of Omicron already. In other words, it's already mutated 5 times.
I mean, it's still similar to like the common cold in the way it mutates. Like that's why there's no cure for the common cold, because it becomes vaccine resistant.
Yeah, it finds ways around it.
Like that. That's why you're always gonna have it. Like that's why every year you have to get a different flu shot, because evolution fucking works, and it works real quick with fucking viruses because there's not much there to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, man. When I had it back in December, dude, I felt like I was gonna die.
Oh, I did.
I mean,
man. I wasn't sure
horrible.
I wasn't gonna. It's awful.
Like
I know Shred and John have both had it, and so did Ren, and they were all fucking laid up. Like, and they said like all of them. I think the uniform thing between all of them was the lethargy. Like they just even after recovering, it's like I just don't have energy.
No energy. Super fatigued, intense fatigue that just sort of feels like it never goes away. You sleep, but yet you don't feel rested when you wake up. You just feel like, ugh. And with me with this breathing thing, what's that?
Like you feel even worse than when you went to sleep in some cases.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it's rough, man. It ain't. So I don't know. I'll kind of take it and see how I'm doing. It looks to me like there's gonna be Edison lot tickets available all the way up to the event. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about getting a ticket. And you know damn well that 3 or 4 days before it happens, the Facebook is going to blow up with people that can't make it and backed out. And
that's what Miller's banking on. He was like, man, I'm just waiting for someone to like don't pay attention to the fucking Facebook, but if you have an opportunity to get whatever fucking day that you're just shooting for, because he wants to drive all the way out there. It's like, don't drive all the way out there without a ticket. Like, make sure you got that first.
That's a hell of a long way to do.
I love the Viking like fucking spirit you got there, but prepare just a bit.
Yeah. Well,
true.
Though Nick,
Yep.
you can get Edison lot tickets anytime. I just went and looked at that. They're there.
Oh,
so if he's only looking to do the Edison lot, you're good. And I was told by Jimmy that if you email whoever on the Facebook page, there's an email there. They've been generally pretty good about giving you tickets for at least Ram's Head. I don't know about the soundstage because that's a much smaller venue.
Yeah,
I think that only holds like 900 to 1,000, and I don't know if they're operating at full capacity for this. I'm assuming they are, and that's another one. Like, for example, I really have no interest in going into the soundstage if it's going to be sold out. But I just don't have an interest. None of those bands are important enough for me to go do that.
There's a couple I wouldn't mind seeing if I can. Like, I do want to see Impaled, just because Impaled's ridiculous fucking fun. Malignant Altar, if I can find a way to get there, because, like, man, they sound more like Morbid Angel than Morbid Angel does, and that album's so goddamn good. But yeah, it's not as many bands that I do want to see on that stage, but there are some. Cephalic Carnage, Birdflesh. Birdflesh is ridiculous. Yeah. Like, it's comedic fucking grindcore with members of General Surgery.
Birdflesh.
Yeah, that's a weird one. But I mean, my whole thing is I just don't want to be in. Like, if you go into the Ram's Head, you can kind of find areas to kind of get out of being right in the throng if you don't mind being sort of off and looking from an angle and all that stuff. Because that's a big venue. That place I think holds
The fucking
20
ceiling's giant on it.
Yeah, that's true. And the air in there might be a little less stagnant, like it might be because the roof and soundstage is right above. It's cramped. It's much more cramped. So we'll see. I have a feeling my trip's going to be solely for an Edison lot deal, for the most part, unless I can figure out a way to see that Vio show. How much is the ticket for that? Did they say on there?
For which one?
For the Violence, the power plant thing. I mean, I know it's sold out.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I just have the entire package.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know how much the solo show. Like, I mean, it's only. I mean, it looks like they're playing close to an hour. I don't know. I don't know what they're charging extra.
My guess is going to be probably about 30, 35 maybe at the most. I mean, that would probably be the most. But I did look, as I said, I went and actually put a ticket in the cart and went all the way right to checkout last night for Sunday night, I think, for the Edison lot. It was $65. Which really, if you look at it, for all the bands that are playing on Sunday, that's like fucking $5 a band.
That's not bad. And $5 to see killer bands.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a very, very reasonable ticket, $65.
Heck yeah.
So you're not going, right, Ben? Did you say you had to work?
I mean, I might be able to go on Sunday, but Friday and Saturday I'll be working.
I mean, Sunday's still
Sunday's
a good fucking
good
day, dude.
Yeah. That's probably the day I'm going down, man.
Like, yeah, I mean,
cool.
even if you're just at the fucking Edison lot, dude. Let's see, Necrofire, Nunslaughter. Nunslaughter is ridiculous fucking fun. Blood Incantation will melt your face. They are so good live. Destruction, Triumph of Death. G-Side, the entire Legion set.
Wait, is that what Hypocrisy's doing?
No, Hypocrisy's doing...
Oh, you said Deicide.
Deicide, yeah, they're doing all of Legion. I mean, this is the 30-year anniversary.
Right.
Then Stage B there is Sacrilegia, I'm not really familiar with. Divine Eve. Nocturnus AD.
Yeah, that's a good one I want to see.
Demolich.
Yep, definitely want to see them.
Immolation and Hypocrisy. So, man, you just went Sunday. Dude, that one day's a fucking festival right there.
Absolutely, man. That's the day I'm pretty sure I'm going to come down.
And I just saw like Hypocrisy is saying they may be doing their last U.S. tour, or kind of winding down on touring. I don't know.
Oh wow!
So I'm glad I'm finally getting to see him. This will be the first time seeing Hypocrisy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to do what I can. I really want to at least try to get down for one day. So that'll be and again, at $65 for all those bands, that's a fucking steal.
Dude, that ain't bad at all.
No, that's doable. I would fucking shit. I might actually pay more for just that as like a touring lineup or something like that.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Right.
Could you imagine that?
I don't have to. It's there.
I mean,
dude, if that was a tour package,
that would be insane
across the U.S. Oh, dude,
that'd probably be a $200 ticket if it was a touring like ensemble like that. Maybe even more, actually, if you think about it.
I mean, but it might be worth it.
Oh hell yeah!
Like,
well, yeah. How many bands are there? Count how many there are. Is it
on that stage on that day?
Just on the Edison lot, the two stages.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
15?
No, we have 12 bands on both stage A and stage B for just the Edison lot on Sunday.
All right, so figure if you were paying, like I said, it's $5 a band. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd be only interested in seeing some of those bands, but knowing that it's in freaking Maryland, and that's a freaking road trip in and of itself.
Oh, well, I get on a flight. Like, I can't take that much time in a car. Like, I'm not like we drove to Maryland to go see Chris, and I don't want to fucking do that again. Like, I want to see Chris again, but I don't want to go driving there. Like, I will get in a plane, even though I am terrified of fucking heights and I hate flying. It's better than having that much time in my car with a fucking dead fucking like left butt cheek for fucking most of the drive.
Yeah,
And,
I would.
The hills. Ugh.
Yeah, I would. I mean, right now, I wouldn't really want to get on a plane personally, but that's just me. But I'm lucky there, Ryan. I live literally 65 minutes away from the front door of the Rams Head Live. If traffic's
sick.
right, I can pretty much drive that in an hour. So
Yeah, I live in Texas.
yeah, that's a
Okay,
long drive
great.
there, bro.
Far.
That's a long drive there, buddy. And
It's-
and Ben's not
Yeah,
that
bro.
far away from me. Ben's probably about 20 minutes from me, which means he'd be down there in an hour and a half at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a closer drive, like if Maryland was like the Detroit drive, which I can make that well, all right. If I followed the speed limit, it'd be an
Yeah,
hour,
right.
but
Yeah.
I don't.
Which is why I wanted to say I'm so glad y'all are doing that Denver Death Fest, because that's a little bit closer to me.
That's gonna be a long fucking plane ride. Like
That's a little.
I
bit
forget which
closer
one of
for
them
me.
says like we could drive out there. I was like, dude, there's a reason why they call those flyover states.
Yeah,
Wait.
right.
Yeah, that's literally two straight lines drive.
You ever watch Children of the Corn? It's literally that. Maybe
I
the
do
psychotic kids with sickles too. I don't know.
Right. Chain smoke the whole way, brother. Chain's weird.
Uh-oh. Jeff, what'd you do?
Uh-oh.
We lost Jeff.
He hit the wrong button, I guarantee it.
Yeah, and not only that, I am kind of happy because that also falls on birthday week. For
Well,
the Denver Death Fest y'all are doing, that falls on birthday week, literally.
Well, that I'm like the wrong person to ask in terms of the details. That is, I'm letting Miller and John
Fair
do that
enough.
since they
Fair
actually
enough.
know a little bit more about promoting. Like, I just know what bands I like, and we get a lot of like feedback from them and stuff. But I don't know if I have like, I don't have like the info and everything and how to book and all that shit. So letting them do that.
Yeah.
Yep, I know he hit the wrong button. I called it.
The wrong button.
Oh, come back, man.
Nope, hold on. Is he texting me? Is he
Oh,
having
Maryland.
issues coming back?
Oh, dude.
Oh, I got it. All right, I'm gonna throw him the
go
link.
with something.
All right, let me get.
Oh, dude. Hypocrisy. You said hypocrisy, destruction. Oh,
Hold on one sec here. I gotta.
Triumph of
send-
Death, I heard. That would be one I'd be interested in because I'm interested in all the Celtic Cross related stuff.
Yeah, Triumph of Death. That's the Hellhammer one. He's
Yeah.
also doing Triptychon on one of those days too.
Yeah.
the deicide. They're gonna play all Legion. Oh,
Well, see, like that one. Honestly, I'm thinking like I could miss that one just because I think after MDF they're doing the tour and they're doing the tour with Cataclysm, and then I think they're playing all of Serenity and Fire. So theoretically, I could miss that one and go catch Deicide on tour.
Oops.
there we go.
I was
gonna-
up and I was like, oh, I'm going to jump there. Oops. See ya.
I regret nothing.
It's all good, dude.
You can't help when you're old and stupid. It just happens.
Maybe if there was like a rotary dial on your phone or something.
Well, you know what? That's funny,
Operator,
dude.
get me StreamYard.
Dude, that is fucking hilarious. You just brought that up because yesterday or the day before, I forget what it was, I was talking to my old man. Now, my old man's 81, right? And he says, fuck, what did he brought something up and he said, well, how do you call anybody now? Do they ever put those phone jacks in the wall anymore? I'm like, I said, Dad, I don't think there's a landline. Everything's digital through your fucking router on your, I don't know. Do they actually fucking put like landline, DSN lines
I
anymore?
haven't
ISDN?
I haven't had a landline since like 2005
2005 maybe?
4.
Yeah.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying to my dad, I said the only thing I was trying to think of was I was like, well, I don't know, maybe there's still fax lines that are ISDN, but I don't even know about them. They're probably digital too now. I think
Yeah.
everything's digital.
Yeah, that's about as rare as finding a fucking functional payphone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which, good luck on that.
Actually, we still have one in Lebanon, believe it or not.
You have a payphone?
Yeah,
Nope.
Get the
that's
fuck
right.
out of here. Where's that at? Tell me where that's at.
actually just a block. Actually, just a block from me.
Are you serious?
The little, at the little store here,
No
they
shit.
still got a payphone. It's like, damn.
Wow.
I mean,
Now-
I still see like the props for them, like the whole casing, but
Yeah.
the last
Yeah,
time I
I'm
passed
gonna-
them, they had it ripped out.
Dude, I'm gonna have to walk down there and take a picture of it.
Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
see that, man.
You're
I
gonna
bet you-
confuse some of your younger subscribers if you fucking post those. Like, dude, what is that? It's like,
Look, a
Payphone.
payphone.
the fuck's a
Well,
payphone?
it's
This is what we
probably
had to
probably
use
a
back in the
dollar.
80s.
It's probably like $1 for a call now, as opposed to 10
It probably
cents
is
or
now,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
$2 or something crazy like that. Yeah. I think the last ones I kind of remember were at the mall, like at the entrances to the malls. There used to be they were digital, but they were payphones, and I don't know when they got ripped out, but I just suddenly realized, oh, they're not there anymore. It's like probably walked by them for 2 years while they were there, and then suddenly realized, oh, they're not there anymore. But yeah, you just don't see them. I wouldn't know if they're. I'm now. I know where you're at there, Ben. I know where Lebanon is, so it's like that kind of makes sense a little bit. But I mean, it's just sort of like, wow, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a picture of it and post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, that,
Photo
Hey
evidence.
man, we still got a payphone, dude.
that's crazy.
Here, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go out and grab a smoke. Be right back.
All right, man.
That's like all the old 70s and 80s shows where, like cop shows where somebody would kidnap somebody. They'd be running to the payphone to get the instructions for the money drop. Now it'd be like all cell phones and fucking computer land, stuff like that. It's just so weird how much things have changed so much in the last couple of years.
It is weird. Man,
Yeah.
makes me feel old.
Well, you are. I mean, you're not as old as me. You got a long ways to go to catch up to me. But I think about things like, and I don't, I honestly, I guess it would have been in the very early 2000s. I would assume maybe the very, very early, 2001, 2002, some of that range when, things changed on the ticket buying front. You remember you used to have to get up on a Saturday and go out to the fucking mall. The
Yeah.
parks around here would be Park City Mall. I don't know if you know where that's at, if you've ever been down there, but
I've heard of
or,
it.
or the Hershey Mall or whatever. But you had to
Yep.
go to you had to go to like a Boscov's or whatever the ticket store was, and you got in line in the morning for a show, at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever, 8 o'clock, whatever. And then you lined up and they opened up the doors and they had security and be like, don't run. If you run, we're throwing you out, shit like that. And,
Yeah.
or you could go to some record stores, they had ticketing agencies, but you didn't have all this
Yeah.
bullshit with, and I wish it was like that still. I really wish it was like that. Because
Yep.
if you got up and you went and got in line, man, you could get fucking killer seats. Now, you can be online right at fucking, the minute the pre-sales go. Now there's, pre-sales for this. And if you're a card holder of that, you get a special pre-sale that opens at, this day. And it's like, it's so fucking twisted by money now. And,
It is.
and all the fucking second, what do they call them? What do they call that one? Like StubHub and all that shit. What do they even call those things now? Like not secondary sellers. There's a name for it. Damn it, Nick will know what it is. But
Oh, I forget too.
you know
I
what
know
I'm
what you're
talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like all those fucking, basically they're scalpers is what they are, and they have all
yeah,
this buying power, and they get all the great seats, and before you know it, like I remember when Tool came around to Philly last two, whenever that last album came out, 18 or whenever it was. I don't remember when that album came out, but anyway, whenever that album came out, it was like I went and looked for tickets, and right away the only thing that was available, literally, the first 30 minutes was like all that was available was the nosebleed seats up in the fucking back of the auditorium, and if you wanted a regular seat, and they were like $135, like fuck no, I'm not paying that. And
right,
then
exactly.
if you wanted a good seat, boom, $300, $350, like fuck that, man. There's no way, no
Yeah,
way. And you didn't have that shit back in the old day, man. You just that's where the internet, while it's made it easier, it's really made it a dirty fucking. I guess they call them ticket resellers, but I mean, they're not really reselling them. They're buying all the good seats and then fucking jacking the prices out of sight.
pretty
For
much.
yeah, and I don't know, man. That's one thing I can't stand about what the internet did. And it's great that you can go sample music everywhere now and that kind of stuff. But I kind of miss the old days when you didn't know what you were going to get. You
I
didn't, you know what I
I
mean? You
miss.
didn't.
Yeah, I
You
miss it
were,
also.
yeah, you didn't have the fucking album artwork 6 months in advance.
No,
You didn't have the credits 6 months in advance. You didn't know all this shit, and I don't know, it kind of, I don't know. I
like
sound like the old guy, get off my lawn, old guy now, but
no, I
it's
agree because
true.
back in the day, I mean, yeah, you had the metal magazines where you could read about these bands,
Right.
and that's pretty much what made me go out and buy a lot of those bands. And a lot of the stuff I did back then too was blind buy. So I'm like, ooh, that looks cool. I'm just gonna buy it. If I like it, I'll keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, by the way, James, I saw your comment there about Foley's department store. Dude, I bought my first Rush album, Hemispheres, 1978, at Foley's department store in the Greenspoint Mall in Houston, Texas. That's where I lived
Ooh,
from. I lived from 76 to 80. I lived in Houston, and I
oh
wish I
yeah,
would have, kind of wish I would have stayed there. But mom wanted to move back to Pennsylvania. But yeah, man, I mean, I hate to say it, I don't know, man. I mean, for one, I guess the one thing that the positive benefit with the internet is there's so much more availability,
yeah,
and for bands that maybe never ever ever would have sniffed a record contract or ever been able to even afford to put an album out, now they can do that stuff. And some of them probably should have not done that, but in
yeah,
general, it's opened up a massive world of accessibility to bands and music and the fans and everything. So that part I really like because it's like, it's like very bizarre. Like Ben, you said you watched. Did you watch a little bit of the Warrior Soul thing?
I watched the whole thing. Yep,
Oh, you did.
it was
Okay,
great.
so now,
Like a lot
what,
of those albums I didn't even know existed.
well, there's a bunch of them that I knew were out there, but there's a couple of them you got to be careful of. That's why I watch my deep dive because there's a few of them that just aren't that good. But Nick, we were talking about how the internet, the positives that the internet has brought to the whole music collecting, concert buying experience. But I was talking about how, and you probably remember this. I would assume. I think, um, you know, back before the internet, late '90s, because I guess most people widely started to have the internet around 2001 to 2003, somewhere in that range, right?
Yeah,
And
I was on the internet when I was in high school, and that was still
maybe
late 90s.
99, late
Yeah.
90, 99, 2000. But you didn't have like massive amounts of websites and everything was slow and a lot of it was dial up and all that kind of shit. But what I was getting at was, the one thing that's really pissed me off about the internet is the ticket situation with concerts and bands. Man, I mean, every time you go to fucking buy a ticket anymore, like on a day of sale, if you're not a member of a special fan club and you have a special credit card pre-sale, blah 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 blah, you aren't going to get good tickets. It just
Yeah.
it doesn't happen, or unless you go to a fucking ticket reseller like a StubHub and pay stupid motherfucking money. And I hate that, man. I
No.
fucking hate it.
I won't.
No,
Like,
I
'cause
won't
they,
either.
They gouge the living shit out of you.
Oh, dude, they fucking rape you, and it's awful.
Oh,
And
yeah, big time.
I was saying to Ben that when Tool finally came out with that last album, and they announced their first tour in like forever, Serge and I wanted to get tickets for Philly, and I was right online, like from like an hour beforehand. I'm sitting there, and I finally got through at like noon. 2 hours after they went on sale, and the only thing available was the nosebleeds at the back of the venue for $145. I'm like, fuck that, man.
Yeah,
No
they
way.
don't screen for fucking bots very well. Like they say they're getting better at it, but so are
Nah.
the bots.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, my experience, like, all right, Faith No More. They were getting ready to put out fucking Soul Invictus. I'm a diehard Faith No More fan. Tickets were going to go on sale at 10 a.m. or 10:30. It was one of the two. I was there, ready, get ready to click, get ready to fucking purchase my tickets, and they were sold out within 2 minutes. And it took me about 5 to actually get it through. And it was like, what do you mean they're all gone?
Yep. And then you could find them on StubHub for $1,000 for the, third row and up, and $800 for the fucking, that's fucking
No.
bullshit, man. That is fucking bullshit.
I
And
agree.
I just saw today a senator from, I think, Jersey has proposed that they fucking do away with Live Nation, and nothing would make me happier. Nothing.
Dude, I've gotten free tickets through them because of the price gouging. Yeah,
Oh, really?
like, remember they got the lawsuits against them fucking forever ago. It was when
yeah.
Gojira was touring on Magma, because that's the free tickets. I got 2 free tickets, so John and I went to go see Gojira with Tesseract, and they were free. It was like, yeah, they sent me an email. It was like, due to the litigation, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I got that too, and I never collected on it like an idiot.
It was
forgot.
either gonna be Gojira or Hall & Oates.
No, Jesus.
It was a serious toss up because I fucking love Hall & Oates.
Oh, I love Hall & Oates too, but that's
But Gojira killed. They were absolutely incredible.
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah.
But yeah, they've
But
been in
I
trouble
mean-
for more shit than anything else, and since they almost can have a fucking monopoly on it too, and
They do. It's not almost. They pretty much do.
well, they
I
buy up
know
all the
there's
other like.
I know there's
ticket vendors and shit.
Eventbrite and some of those small ticket vendors, but they don't get any of those big fucking shows. They don't get the major venues. They get which is fine because we tend to like a lot of those little no name things. I mean, you got, like, for example, a show I'm actually kind of thinking I might want to go to in July is Steve Von Till from Neurosis is doing a solo thing at a tiny little place called Johnny Brenda's. I think it holds like 300 people. And it's like, and the tickets are fucking $18. I'm down. That's awesome. I'm totally there if that's, if I'm well enough.
Yeah, I hit more club shows than I mean.
Yeah.
The Masson Opeth show I went to, that was like the first like big like show that I've been to in a while. Like, mostly it's club shows.
Yeah, which is because we've all kind of done the big shows, and it's like, I just refuse to fucking pay extortionate fucking money for tickets anymore. I mean, we're going, assuming I even go, assuming everything's cool, but Serge grabbed us tickets for Porcupine Tree in Philly, and they were the last time now granted, it was 12 years ago that Porcupine Tree last toured the U.S. was a band, but their fucking tickets were like $35, $40. They're $130 now. I'm like, what the fuck? Bullshit, man. That's total fucking bullshit. That's because
I'm trying to blame it on inflation and everything like that, and like, well, no, it's not. You guys are just gouging people.
You're
You
gouging.
afford it.
You're stealing
You're
money, man.
Just trying to steal money
stealing
from
money.
people.
And then we actually looked on this new venue down in Philly called the Forum, I think it's called, or the Vet or something. I can't remember what it's called. I've never seen it before. And it looks like a really nice place, but you look down on not in the pit, but like in the front, seated sections, the tickets are like $260. I'm like, there's no fucking way in hell I'd pay that. No way.
I forget what my brother played for Masson and Opeth, but we were on the floor. Like he went on like the pre-sale and everything. And just like I just got on there quick and got whatever ticket we could.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know what he paid. I think I paid for a fucking club show ticket and I bought him dinner and covered some of his gas that night, and that was my way to get even. But yeah, I mean, we bought those so far in advance that he probably forgot how much he paid too, because
No,
but, yeah, like in terms of big shows, it's just the merch prices have gone up too. I mean, everything's kind of gone up. Like the club shows, it still feels like it's kind of leveled out.
Yeah, it still feels like it's of the people and for the people while the band makes some money, but they're not raping you. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's like it's taken a lot of the fun out of it for me to even think about the last 7-8 years with the scalping shit. It's insane now.
Yeah.
And the other thing we were saying too was that, I guess I'm just that old man, get off my lawn old man now. But it's like, I don't know that I really, I mean, of course I do it. You do it. We all do it now because it's there. But I kind of like the old days when you fucking went in and you saw there was a new, now maybe you saw it in the mag or Metal Maniacs or whatever magazine you're reading that so-and-so has a new album coming out. But you didn't know all the fucking details about everything. And you didn't know what the artwork looked like. Now it's like, it's all there. And I know why they have to do it, because if they don't do it, you know what I mean? Every other band does.
Yeah.
So you have to.
Well, it's promotion. And I mean, that's evolved too. Like,
yes,
you kind of have to keep up with the times,
right.
Put out a single, maybe a lyric video, even though, I mean, I just want to listen to the music. Like, oftentimes if I end up reading the lyrics, like, man, I don't need to know this. These are kind of dumb. Okay, anyway. But like that, the promotions evolve. Like that's you kind of have to keep up with that. I mean, I miss the mystery, but at the same time, like you're kind of getting it unveiled like one little bit at a time. So there's still a little bit of mystery. Like some bands keep the album cover, out of the limelight for as long as they possibly can. But I do like hearing singles because that'll kind of like
give you an indication of what's going on. Yeah. I mean, and I agree with that, because I agree, because generally speaking, back in the day, but nowadays, like how often do you buy an album just because of the artwork anymore now? Because you always kind of know, you generally know what's going on with it. You know what I mean?
I got a
just a little.
There was some stuff I bought on the artwork.
Did you?
Honestly, like I still like doing that. Like I still like taking a stab at something just because like that looks cool. That if it sucks, all right. I mean, that's usually in the used section. Like I don't do that.
Right.
With
Yeah. Right.
But I'll take a gamble. Like there's a couple in this collection update that I finished. That's like, I bought it. I liked the artwork, and I think I just like looked it up and was like, all right, what style is it? Okay, it's prog metal. I like prog metal. Let's check it out.
Yeah. Well, and that actually, you just brought up the one really cool aspect though of the internet that allows you to do something that you probably couldn't do 20 years ago, which is you see something in used bin, you like the artwork, you go, I'm going to go on to Rate Your Music, or I'm going to look that band up and see what they are. And then you might run into a gem that you would have never picked up had you not had the internet. So there are pros and cons. It's just that I think the biggest one though that really pisses me off is the whole concert ticket thing, man. That really bugs the fuck out of me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm right there with you on that one. But I mean, everything else, like, I mean, I like the idea of having information at your fingertips. Like, I think that's really good. But it's you got to do something with it, which is kind of humanity's not great at that. But at least with like metalheads, in terms of making like informed purchases and stuff like that, and finding out stuff about their favorite bands and release dates, staying ahead of stuff,
right?
Like that's helpful. Like I'm relatively obsessive about this. I don't know if
we all are. We all are.
I mean, I got a pre-order today too. I got the new Misery Index already.
Ooh,
And
nice.
this is the special edition too. It comes with a bonus disc. They actually cover "Supposed to Rot" by Entombed. So of course, like fuck yes,
Oh, wow. Is it
That's-
a box? Is it a box set or what?
yeah.
Big?
It came with a tote bag, a bonus CD with like covers, demos, and instrumentals. Of course, the full album, some pins.
Yeah, that's one thing that with the advent of the internet that you have a lot more of is these special edition type things. You didn't
Yep.
have as much of that back when you couldn't do pre-order stuff and stuff
Yep.
like that. I mean, Jimmy was saying, oh no, not Jimmy. One of the guys that was on with Jimmy tonight talking about Death Fest was that there's some special T-shirts that I think you can only get through pre-order for the Death Fest. Did you know about that?
No, I think John got a hat. I don't know if that was like a special thing like for pre-order or anything, but he has an MDF hat that's a flex fitted like this one.
Well, the way this guy made it sound, and I think he was right. If you go on the MDF website that you were on for like the band times, if you look down on the merch tab, I think there's a merch tab there. You see that?
Buy tickets, merch. There we go.
So if you pull that up, there's a couple of very exclusive, 2 or 3 exclusive designs. There's a couple cool ones, man. Actually, the one with like the Skrillex or whatever you call it, Cyrillic or whatever that's pretty cool looking. And then there's another one that's like snakes on the front of it, and then they have all the bands on the back, which is really cool. And he told me that 1 or 2 of them are totally exclusive to the pre-order. You can't get them at the show. Yeah. So, and they're only $21. That's a good deal for a T-shirt, I think.
I bet I see a lot of Riddick art. I'm not surprised.
Oh, is it Riddick?
There's Riddick for at least a couple of them. He's got his own MDF shirts. Looks like he's got at least 4 shirts and some
wow.
pins. Oh no, maybe
I'll have to.
nope. No, that's a different artist.
There is some stuff that
Stickers, too.
looks like Riddick. Okay. Yeah, I think there's like 4 different artists, 4 or 5 different artists, and there's some cool shit there, man. So I may just buy one of them online, not have to worry about it coming down and worrying about something being there.
Yeah, all right. I see one of the pre-order ones. Yeah, the black and white with the skull with like the
Yeah, that one.
tentacles and shit.
That one looks like Riddick, but it's not.
Yeah, that one's definitely. I don't think that's. No, that's not.
It's not Riddick, but it looks like it.
No, it's not.
No.
But yeah, $21.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
That's not bad.
Because you know
That's not
there'll probably be more if you go down there.
Yeah,
It'll probably be 25
to 30.
25 to 30. And then the yellow one's pretty cool. The one with the yellow script.
Oh wait. Oh
That
yeah,
one's really
that's. I think that's the one. It says pre-order only, but I imagine that one's gonna be
probably
there.
the one that's going to be at the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might be the white one that you said, the Riddick looking one that might be an exclusive. So, but I think they're pretty good. And even the long sleeves kind of cool. I'm not usually big on the print on the sleeves, but that one's kind of cool because it has all the bands on the sleeves. You see that one?
Yep. That is pretty cool. 31
Yeah.
too. That's not bad.
And that's not bad. Yeah. Yeah.
See, I usually don't go for long sleeve shirts.
I
but,
don't either.
I mean,
I don't either.
honestly, like while I'm there, I mean, I might get an MDF shirt this time. I didn't get one last time because there were so many fucking t-shirts. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the Demonical review, my fucking Dismember shirt. I got that there. It's a
Oh, did
boot,
you? That was
but
it?
it's a fucking good boot. Like they did a great job. Like it looks fucking
I
awesome.
almost bought a dissection boot there, Storm of the Lights Pain. I'm glad I didn't because the guy wanted like $30 for it, and I found a killer one in the UK for like 22. It was definitely a boot, it wasn't legit, but it's got the the front artwork for Storm, and then on the back it's got 666 cosmic something about cosmic something metal. You have that one? There it is.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Fucking Cosmic Medal of
That's
Death.
it. That's it right there.
There
It's
we
on the
go.
back. That's the back of the shirt right there. Yeah.
What's up, Karen? Welcome
is-
to the stream.
Which is pretty interesting when you go when you walk around the mall with that shirt on and people look at you.
I mean,
Remember that-
I've definitely
remember-
turned
Oh,
heads with t-shirts.
Oh, I love that shit. I love
Oh,
it.
remember that one Cradle of Filth shirt from back in the day?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I heard,
Oh
I heard people actually got arrested over wearing that shirt.
yeah.
That's
What's
the
one?
The
masturbation
nun
shirt.
like
It's got the
masturbating
nun on
with the
it.
cross.
Then
Oh
on the
yeah,
back it
yeah.
says Jesus
The
is a fucking.
Marduk, the
Yep.
Marduk one.
Well, the Marduk,
No,
Cradle,
Cradle.
Cradle Filth had one too, but man, Marduk,
Oh,
Marduk was even more direct. I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, they
yeah.
were. That
I
was
mean,
pretty.
I have that EP too, cover intact.
What's "Fuck Me Jesus," right?
Fuck me,
Yep,
Jesus.
Yeah, that's. I got to be honest with you. That's one I probably wouldn't wear just simply because I wouldn't want to get attacked. You know,
no.
Eh,
You
I
fucking Satanist.
I
Hey,
think
how
the
do you know
most
I'm a Satanist?
I think the most
No.
extreme one I have is I have a possessed seven churches one, and it's got upside down crosses all over it, which I've worn that out a lot, and people look at me, but it's like whatever, man.
Right.
I've got some pretty extreme ones, just in terms of like gore and violence and shit like that.
Nah,
And
I think you told.
I did the dying fetus one. I mean, that one that lady did not appreciate the. What did it say on the back? I don't give a fuck about you.
I love that.
And I
That's
didn't.
awesome.
It was honest. This lady was like,
Yeah.
"Ugh." Like, well, it's true. I don't know you. Go
Yeah, right.
fucking buy your shit and leave me alone.
I have a Skeleton Witch T-shirt. I got this back when I saw Skeleton Witch at Ozfest in New Jersey back in 2010. On the back it says "Eat some fucking pussy."
Whoa,
I still have the shirt too. I just can't wear
whoa.
it no more because it's so wore out.
Man, I never got to see him with Chance in the band. He got kicked out for being, I guess, a world class lush, unfortunately. But that just sounds like something, because I've heard from about his live shit. It's like he just says all sorts of fucking crazy shit.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
God.
he probably came up with a slogan for the back.
Speaking of
No,
that,
I used to
speaking
wear
of
that shirt. I used to actually wear that shirt out to the bars and actually had chicks taking pictures of it.
Oh yeah, wow.
I'll make good on that promise.
Yeah. Well, on that
Okay, you
same
need
note, Rob Flynn had Billy
Grazietti?
I think it's actually Grazia Day. That's how Grazia Day. That's how Rob was pronouncing it last night, and they went into a whole lot of shit because they toured with Slayer, the two Machine Head and Biohazard, and they were telling some really fucking raunchy ass stories, dude. I was like, wow. And I know a lot of people think Rob's a dick, and I don't like Machine Head's music very much, but I don't really have a major issue with Rob. I know he's a little bit of a, I don't know, he can be a little bit of a
He
whiny
doesn't know when to
dude.
shut up. Like, I don't disagree
Well,
with
true.
much he says. He just,
Mhm.
man, stop being so fucking pompous about it. Like, you can just say
Yeah.
it and be done with it.
Yeah, he does grandstand a bit. But
Oh,
anyways,
God.
he's talking to Billy, and they were talking about Bobby Hamill.
Yeah.
And apparently during that period, Bobby was pretty out of control with drinking. Like he was just fucked up all the time. And Rob was telling this story. He's like, yeah, Billy, do you remember that time I came into the dressing room and Bobby was eating that chick out and she was on the period and he pulled her fucking tampon out with his fucking mouth. Are you kidding me, man? Oh my God, dude. That fucking made me sick.
He
I'm
got
like,
his Red Wings.
no. Not at my drunkest would I ever think of doing that.
Well, you weren't Bobby Hamill drunk. I mean,
Well,
that's
I-
clearly
I
like
clear-
another level.
Clearly there is another level. But then the other story he was telling about was Billy apparently used to be able to, the red Solo cups, the drinking cup. Apparently Billy had perfected the craft of shitting into one of those, and then at the fucking what do they call it where the food comes in? What's that called?
Fuck.
There's a word for it.
Yeah.
Shit, I can't think of the word. You know what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
right?
I know exactly
It's not craft work, but it's like
No, it begins with a C.
yeah, it does, and I can't think of the fucking word for it. Damn it. Oh, anyways, when they were bringing food in, apparently Billy like got along really really well with Tom and with Dave and with Jeff Hanneman, but Kerry King didn't like Billy, and Billy would go out of his way to piss Kerry off, and apparently he shit in his cup and put carrots and all kind of stuff in it, and put it like where Kerry always got his food.
Oh, dude.
And fucking Rob and him were laughing like hell. They were fucking tripping on this whole thing. He's like, eventually, Kerry and I kind of came together and we were cool with each other. But for a while, Kerry wanted to beat the shit out of me every time he saw me. and Billy's apparently a fucking black belt in fucking jujitsu, so not a guy to fuck with too much, you know.
Billy's still like he's
ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in good shape. He's in good shape. But you know, and I remember I was, you know, that was one of the few bands of that era. That I kind of dug. I dug Urban. Was it Urban Discipline?
Oh, dude, Urban Discipline's a fucking killer album.
That's a
It's a good
great
album.
Yes.
I love that album.
A lot of killer riffs on that thing, man.
Oh, dude, Shades of Grey. Shades of Grey is possibly my favorite track on there, but God, Man with a Promise, Wrong Side of the Tracks.
Yep.
Oh, dude, there's so many good. And like, I don't know, like it was. I guess you could almost say like kind of a prototype for like a lot of metalcore too that would come out too.
Oh
because,
yeah,
like,
definitely.
they were definitely a hardcore band, but
Right.
they like metal riffs.
Yeah, and they had some good riffs. I mean, and yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen that footage of them at Donington, where their power got cut on them because they were letting they were letting all the kids up on the stage. Like, and when I say kids, I'm talking like 30, 40, 50 people were coming up and windmilling off the stage. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was crazy, like crazy. And they cut the power on them because the Donington people were afraid someone was going to get hurt really bad. And when they cut the power, apparently Evan Seinfeld and fucking Bobby just went berserk on, and they went after the fucking Donington like people, like the you know, the people that were putting the festival on. They went after them. The cops came and they had to like sneak out, and they were playing. Get this, they were playing Donington in the afternoon and a German festival that night. So they were playing two festivals in one day. So they had to charter a plane to get the fuck out of there because the cops were after them from the Donington episode. And yeah, crazy shit, man. And Billy was saying we couldn't get any traction in the UK. We were pretty big in the States at this point in time, and you know, we just couldn't get any traction. But after that, man, we were fucking huge.
Dude, I know Evan, he played in the one-off fucking live set with Nail Bomb, too. Like, he did a couple of... actually, he did some of the last of that live set, because after that live set, Nail Bomb broke up. And, you know, because Max said that's the most punk thing we could do. Break up after a live set.
Well, then Evan went and got into fucking porn. He married Tara Patrick, and he was a porn dude for quite a while. And
dude, Tara Patrick was in fucking Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Like, she was actually in an episode. Yeah. I think she was eating a corn dog.
Like as herself, or was she the porn chick yet then? Or?
She was actually drawn in there, and she voiced herself. Like, she was a big fan of the show, I guess.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Seinfeld lately, but he's so fucking tatted. His head is tatted. He has like giant like.
Oh, he's blacked out.
Yeah, it looks stupid, man.
He's doing the whole like the blackout tattoos where they're little. It's just solid
a sleeve
black.
Of black. Yeah, like that is fucking bizarre. Like, why would you? All that money. Think about how many thousands of dollars he's got on his body.
Oh, dude, he was tatted as fuck. Like
back then.
I would say like by State of the World Address, like that's where like he had like full fucking sleeves, and I was like, dude, that's a lot of fucking art. He had the hand done by Paul Booth.
Paul Booth. Yep. Paul Booth. That guy did some wicked shit, man. I mean, you had to have money to get in to see that guy, though. You couldn't just walk into that part. I bet that. I think he's still alive, is he, or did he die?
Yeah, I think Paul Booth's still around.
I think he is. Like, I think you have to book him like 3 years in advance to get in for an appointment with him. That guy must be rolling in motherfucking money. Has to be.
Yeah, he's 54 years old.
Jeez, he's younger than me. Holy fuck.
Damn.
Ben, we keeping you up, dude. I don't want to keep you up if you're.
Oh no, I'm
Okay.
I'm fine.
You cool? Okay. All right.
No, I like listening to this.
Okay. Sorry, man. I don't want to. I just don't want to keep you up if you had to go to work or something like that. But
No, I'm fine.
I
I'm
can
going to-
talk and
tomorrow
talk
night
and talk,
anyways.
as Nick knows, right?
Jeff's a little bit of a chatty Cathy.
Chatty Cathy. Well, you ain't so bad yourself, though. Let's be honest.
I mean, a little bit. I might
bit.
talk a bit. I might have talked for like an hour and a half straight and had to edit that shit down not too long ago today.
Oh, was it that long?
It's all good.
Before I cut it down, it was like an hour and 37 minutes, and I got it down
Wow.
to 57 minutes. Dude, I'm obsessive. Like when I record shit, like I want to make sure I get the perfect take and get like all the information I can.
Right.
But with collection updates, like I try to keep it within like 2 minutes per album.
Right.
But of course, sometimes it goes
Sometimes
over
you
that.
run on, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get like all the relevant stuff, and if I fuck up a take, I go back. Like, it's obsessive, but looking at the final results, like, okay, that looks good. I got my thoughts out clearly. I made a couple of dick jokes because I'm me, and it flows well. Like, and for me, like, I just feel it pays to be like meticulous. Like, I want to make sure everything comes out at least clearly, even
Well,
if
see,
it's
that's
stupid.
That's what's kind of been slowing me down on doing some of these, what I was calling my shallow dives, doing those, because those will be just me. So it's like I'm probably not going to do them live. So I'd probably be shooting them. And then I don't really have the ability on my phone to really edit. You know what I mean? I'm looking at getting a laptop next month. But I don't have that ability to edit. So it's like, I'm like, well, I keep kind of putting off doing them because I'm afraid I'm going to get into something, fuck up, and go, oh man, I got to start all over. You know what I mean? Whereas when I'm doing the live deep dives, it's like that's what's going. It doesn't matter. It's just flying
it's a
back.
conversation too.
Yeah,
Right, exactly. Yep.
I mean, live streams I like doing. I don't know. I feel more focused in live streams because there's people to talk to. Like instead of looking at this little judgmental fuck with a red light on.
Exactly.
It's just staring at me. It's like, oh, you suck. You need to do better. Like, fuck you, and I know.
Yeah, no, that is true. That you get more self-conscious when you're not in a flow of a conversation where you're just a one-sided conversation. It's kind of like, oh shit, I wanted to say that and I forgot to say that. And
every video, there's always someone's like, fuck, I could have made that fucking reference. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, like earlier, I started to say to you that I said to Ben, I asked if he watched the Warrior Soul thing. I got off on a tangent there, but the weird thing, and this was to get back on the last point about the internet thing, is that the one thing the internet's really done that's changed a huge dynamic is that, in the 70s and even in the 80s and the 90s even, you didn't, as a fan, have much real access to any bands. Unless you knew somebody that got you backstage, unless you knew somebody that was in management, you did. It wasn't like you could just go, oh, I'm going to go to this show and I'll know that guy from Instagram, or I'll know him from YouTube, or, I'm, you know what I mean? You just didn't have that interplay that you really do have a lot now with, I would say, a lot of bands that certainly bands that like we listen to now, and even ones like, for example, Warrior Soul, where I got a whim on Wednesday to just send an email to their website and ask if Corey could do an interview. And unfortunately, I did something weird with my email and put a new password in and didn't put it in my phone. And long story short, I didn't know he replied to me like the next day. And he wanted to do an interview on Saturday before the fucking deep dive. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm not ready. I don't really have any questions thought out. And I don't know, if I'm going to get 20 minutes or 40 minutes or what. And so he did actually get back to me. And now I said, well, look, I'm going to do the deep dive. Here's the link to the deep dive. Check it out. And then, if you watch it and you're upset by things that I say, well, let's still do an interview. Let's still talk, you know? And I haven't heard back from him yet. So maybe he saw stuff he really didn't like. I doubt it. I thought it was, I didn't think I was harsh or cool or anything. I said there was 2 albums I didn't particularly like that much. And that's the reality of it, you know? I feel that
Right.
way about Rush. There's a couple Rush albums I don't love, you know? And I
Yeah.
love that band. So,
Like, you know, I mean, I hate shitting on albums. Well, all right, some of them I hate shitting on. Others I don't mind. But there's like it was something like we had to work on because, like, I mean, for a point there, like there was a lot of stuff I had to edit out, especially with Johnny wanting to be as blunt as possible. It's like you kind of get your message across, but kind of do it in a way where, like, listen, I'm not into this. That doesn't mean you won't be. You should still
Right.
check it out.
right,
It's just,
right.
I don't like
I'll be
it.
back, guys.
Okay.
All right, dude. Yeah, I mean,
Gotta take this.
but like what I was getting at though, Nick, is that, I'll be honest with you. When I sent that email to Warrior Soul Management, quote unquote, I was like, I ain't gonna hear back from this. There's no way I'm gonna hear back. And then 3 days later, I'm like, oh shit, I heard back. And it kept the whole throughout the reply, and it's a pretty long reply. It says we, meaning WE, not. And I'm like, okay, I gotta be talking to Corey here. It's gotta be Corey. I don't think he's got like a major management group. I don't think, and why would management say we? They would say, Corey, we'll make sure Corey's available for you.
Yeah.
Or, so I think it was Corey. And it was like, wow, that's fucking crazy. Like, if you'd have told me in 1978 that I was going to get to meet Rush on a meet and greet in 2007, I'd have been like, you're out of your fucking mind. Those guys don't even live on this planet. They probably live, on Mount Olympus somewhere or something. There's no way, right? Well, same thing. If you'd have told me in 1990 when I bought the Warrior Soul album, the first one, you just said, hey, man, you're going to interview that guy 30 years later, I'd have been like, yeah, right, sure I am. But that's how the internet's changed the dynamic of the fan artist interaction. It's changed it a lot.
I mean, shit. I mean, if you had told me that someone I've
Max.
idolized since I was a teenager,
You were
would
going to
become
get
a
to hang
fan
out
of
with Max.
something
Yeah.
that I did and my
Yeah.
buddies did, and surreal. Like, you're out of your fucking mind. He's
Exactly.
like, he's here, and then if I dug a hole,
Right.
that would be
But
me.
that's the super cool part about that's one of the really benefits of the internet is that, some really, really cool fucking shit happens that you wouldn't have expected that even 10 years ago, you'd probably been like, well, I'm not some big magazine, so they're not going to talk to me, or, you know what I mean? And I'm not, or on YouTube in particular, it's like, all right, well, I even said to him, I said, look, dude, I only have not quite 300 subscribers right now. I said, I only got my channel started last year, and I only just started to think about doing interviews. Here's my Dan Mongrain interview. Watch it. If you don't like what you see, that's cool. If you say, yeah, it's not for me. He got back and he's like, no, we understand your small channel, but we kind of liked what we saw. We watched some of the clips, and you seem like you're a real sharp dude, and you're really into the music, and we're kind of stoked that you're doing this. And it's like, all right, cool, let's do it.
I mean, even like that, like that's like 300 subscribers or however many. That's still potentially more people that have not been exposed to your music. So
probably all of them,
Yeah.
almost all of them, and for the
Very
most
true.
part, they may go out and buy that new album. Somebody, after what I said, they may go, you know what? Jeff said this is pretty good. I'm going to go check it out on YouTube. Oh, it is actually pretty good.
it is cool. Like, honestly, that's my favorite kind of comments we get is like, dude, check this album out based on your review, and I went out and bought it, and it's fucking excellent. This band fucking rules. I'm gonna buy all their shit. It's like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's great.
That's what I want. Like, go out there and get the shit. Become a fucking fan.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
you keep it alive.
That's the great part of the internet, because you can share that experience. You couldn't really do that by just buying magazines unless you did the tape trading thing, which is okay. It's kind of like that, but like, for example, now, Nick, the
But
reality of it is.
There you go.
Oh shit! Sorry. The reality of it is that channels like yours, even mine, even though it's relatively small still, we're the kind of new. We're the new.
The new breed. Is that the
Well,
word?
Well, no, I was going to say we're the new zines.
Yeah.
In a lot
Well,
of ways.
well, zines are still around, but
No, I know.
but yeah, like this is like honestly, I think maybe not just like YouTube, but just in terms of like internet publications about music, that's where people are getting most of their information from.
They are, yep.
Right.
So, this is our platform to promote the shit we love, and believe me, I got pretty damn obsessed with it. I think.
Yeah, you have. You definitely have. You do way more.
Hey, man.
You do way more than some of us do. I
love it though. It's a compulsion, but it's a compulsion driven by like a legit love for the music. Like this music's been
there's no question about that.
Since like my teens, and if I can get someone to like latch on to that too, is like, dude, I totally fucking feel what he's saying. It's like, yeah.
And I really respect that out of you. I don't think even if I felt well, I would be putting the kind of time into it that you are, just because I just don't think I'd want to. But for you, it's a real creative outlet. And it's something that you really you get. I mean, like for me, like I was saying earlier, I kind of decided. Oh, you weren't on when this. I don't think you were on when this was on. Somebody said, "Hey Jeff, why don't you do a Queensryche ranking?" And I said, I don't really want to do ranking videos because kind of a lot of other people do it and do it better. But what I do want to do is these deep dives where essentially I am ranking it, only I'm doing it in a more unique way that's more about, the interactions of all the group people that I have on a panel, but also, I tend to dig into every track on an album, and I usually have something to say about it, even if it's something like, this song's kind of lame, but compared to the rest of them. And that happens a little bit here and there, but like for me, the thing that I kind of tried to get into was really taking the word deep dive and really taking it seriously and getting fucking deep as hell on these things.
Right.
And that's the only thing that kind of sets me slightly apart.
It's a good format.
Yeah.
What's up?
And you're doing
That's a good format. Because you cut to the core of it. You get down to like all the different little nitty gritty, like even like subject matter behind songs, which even when we do rankings, it's like we kind of state our opinions kind of shortly and maybe give each other shit. Well, mostly we just give John shit for ranking alters at 6. Believe me, I will never let that die ever.
Of course not. Of course not.
But yeah, like
you ain't just the one who put Cold Lake high too.
That one became second because the Altars of Madness one just everyone went the fuck.
How the hell do you rank that 6?
He had domination over it. Like,
holy shit!
Yeah, that's hard to understand.
Impossible.
Yeah, I can't figure that one out either. Damn.
Well, wild card, John. We don't know. Like sometimes he has like hard takes, and then we're like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen here?
John does some fun stuff. He's a good guy, but yeah, you were saying about my deep dives that I tend to really put a lot of time into giving someone my deepest thoughts on a particular band's catalog. Yeah, there you go. Right. Deeper, harder, deeper, faster. Right? What was it called?
Penetrate you with my knowledge of music.
Yes. Deep Thoughts by Jack Handey.
Oh
Jack
God,
Handey,
I used to love those.
But yeah, I mean, that, and so that's kind of what like I kind of try to channel my energies into those, and I'm getting better at making them shorter, so they're not like so goddamn insane like Opeth or where we just kind of went crazy for 7.5 hours.
7.5 hours. I still can't believe that was 7.5 hours long.
Yeah, that was nuts that night.
I still haven't watched that one yet.
You got to have 7.5 hours free to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a really good one. It's a really good one. But
it is, dude. We really fucking dug into it, and I mean, it's fucking Opeth. I mean,
yeah, it was a very well done episode. I had a little bit to drink though, so I was a little more verbose than usual. And I don't usually drink much on these, but I did get a little bit zipped that night, and that was, until Jimmy and I got into that long half-hour dissertation about Michael writing for himself, not for other people, and it was fun though.
It was good discussion. It was
Yeah, it was.
engaging, and again, that's the cool thing about the deep dives is, I mean, even doing it live, like, you don't have like planned edits or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's
Fuck
all
it, we'll do it live.
Well, it's all stream of consciousness, and and sometimes somebody might say something, and I'm like, "Whoa, hold up! I gotta call you on that." Or, "Hey, Jeff, you just said that about this." Well, okay, let me explain what I mean by that. Which is how Jimmy and I got on that tangent about Michael's direction of songwriting lately, and it's like, and that was it was a great conversation, and we had a good one for Alice in Chains. That was about a 5-hour deal, almost 6 hours.
It'd be an impossible one to rank. I love all their albums.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
And I was saying I forget who asked me. I think it was actually Frederick said do a Queensrÿche rank, and I'm like, dude, I'll be honest with you, I would do it, and like 6 months later, it might change pretty radically because
Right.
That's part of, like, there's a couple of rankings where I might switch around stuff now, like maybe like the Maiden one, I would probably have Killers above Number of the Beast. Like, honestly, that's like the one, if I was going to go back, I would put Killers over Number of the Beast. Like, I do legit love that album more than Number of the Beast, but I love Number of the Beast.
Of course. But I mean that's sometimes
the Deano albums have always been my favorite.
I love them, but I'm still a Somewhere in Time guy. I love that fucking album.
Oh, Power Slave is
great. Power Slave's great.
That's the best.
I mean everything up through Seventh Son, man. I mean, it's just hard to. For me, it's very hard to categorize them, and they could change fairly readily. And that's the thing. It's like sometimes it's where you're at, it's where your head's at, it's where your ears are at, and then you go back and you re-listen to something, you're like, wow, man, holy fucking shit. I mean, you know what I mean? It's hard to, and also too, I think we've established that it's pretty generally as a rule of thumb, most of us music nerds, a lot of times our favorite albums tend to be the one that we came in on.
Yeah.
Not always, but a lot of the time.
Well, I mean, I know we're doing Mastodon after Exodus, and the one I came in on might be a little bit lower than some of the others. But I mean, like that one that fucking, broke your cherry, like, for a band, that is generally spent, like, I mean, actually even Deliverance it would be, I think it was my number 2 overall, but number 1, I mean, fucking Watershed's gorgeous. But yeah, Deliverance, high up there.
Yeah, it's hard. I find generally for me, and not every single time, but I mean, like I came in on Blackwater, so it's either Still Life or Blackwater for me, and they're right, adjacent to each other. You talk about Rush. For Rush, it's Hemispheres because that was the first one, or Farewell to Kings because that was probably number 2, and it's like that. Just I seem to be a creature of habit that way often. For me, like for Morbid Angel, it would probably be Covenant or Altars because those were the 2 I came in on. I think Covenant was my first one. Yeah.
Covenant
was my first.
Beavis and Butthead. That's what got me into Morbid Angel.
No, was it?
Dude, I mean, you're not gonna forget that video for God of Emptiness.
Oh.
And let the children come. Like,
to me, just that line, dude.
I was higher than fucking Giraffe Pussy. My buddy fucking picked me up to go to a fucking party to get even more high. And I just got this fucking Morbid Angel fucking tape. I was like, oh, I don't know anything about them. Check this shit out. And he had already been listening to it, and it was on fucking God of Emptiness. Like, dude, I might be too high for this.
Yeah, I think that was the first song I heard from Morbid Angel was God of Emptiness, and I was like, whoa.
I mean,
just
in the video, I think he flipped it over and went into Rapture and was like, yeah, all right, yeah, okay.
And I remember the video for God of Emptiness was pretty fucking evil too.
Yep, the demon and
Yeah. And that was killer, man. I mean, the sad thing is I've only ever seen them one time though, and it was on for Aluminum Anus, which is weird. Yeah, which is
I
weird.
mean, I saw him. Well, technically, it was kind of on that tour. It was Summer Slaughter 2014.
Sounds about right. I saw them in 13 when it came out.
Yep, they
Like-
were the
like late.
headlining act. It was with David Vincent, and I mean that year was pretty good. They had Dying Fetus. That was the first time seeing Dying Fetus too.
Yeah, when I saw them, it was Dark
Nice.
Funeral and shit. What was that other fucking band? Oh man, Dark Funeral and who was that? Is it Grave? Was it Grave?
Ooh, I still have yet to see Grave.
Oh man,
I think it might have been Grave or yeah, I think that's who it was. Although for some reason High on Fire, but I don't think that it wasn't High on Fire. That was Opeth and High on Fire, not Mystium too. That was a trip.
Yeah.
Not Mystium was the Judd dude.
Yep. Oh, I know. I have his shit too. I'm glad I didn't fucking like get any pre-orders or anything from that
man.
fucking dickhead.
I think I talked about how I first heard Opeth before. Like for me, it wasn't Blackwater Park. It was actually before that.
Okay.
Yeah, me and my buddy were on this website called darkwood.com. And
What was it called?
Darkwood.com. This would have been around 99, 2000.
Yeah, I kind of remember that
And
name.
yeah, there was bands like Borknagar on there.
Oh, yeah.
And Opeth really hit me. I'm like, ooh, that's good. And this would have been around the time when Still Life was out.
Well, that
I want to
was
say I remember
was
seeing ads for that when I
90.
was younger.
Still Life was 99.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the first album I bought was My Arms Are Hers. And I'm like, damn.
I
this is
believe
fucking good.
the first time they played the States though was for Still Life. I think they played that Milwaukee Metal Fest. But wait a minute, no, they might have. When was the first Milwaukee Metal Fest?
Shit, I don't know.
I think it was for Still Life. I think it was.
99?
I think it was. I think it was 99. They played. Well, maybe it was My Arms, but I actually heard about him from Steve Wilson because he was producing Blackwater Park, and he's like, you should check these guys out. I'm like, I can't. It was so funny because I turned him on to Frontline Assembly around then.
Ooh.
And he was kind of really into the Frontline Assembly stuff like Implode and Hardwired and all that shit, Hardwired and Millennium. And I remember he's like, you got to check this. I can't remember whether he sent me an MP3 or I can't remember, but I checked out Opeth and I'm like, yeah, music's great, but man, those vocals. He's like, wait a minute, you listen to Evil Bill Lieb and you think that sounds cool, but you don't like Evil Mike Ockerfeld. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good point.
It did not take long for Michael's vocals to sink in. Like, the first one I ever picked up was Deliverance, and Wreath is a motherfucker of a song.
Ooh,
But
that's
so
dude,
good.
that's
that title track that melted my fucking face, and the whole flip between the clean vocals and like,
Yep.
Ugh, that's just like that big
It's kind
look me in the eye. Like,
Well, I tell you what, I mean, I saw Opeth a lot during that period of time, from Blackwater up through Watershed, and I contend until something happened, and I don't really know what it is or what it was, but I think Mike had the fucking most vicious death growls of anyone.
I would agree.
He could do that fucking raspy, almost black metal thing like you hear on Catatonia's Brave Murder Day.
Yep.
And then he could do the look me in the eye, and you're just like, fuck. I mean, when you would hear it live, you'd be like, that can't be real. That just can't be real. And yet it was.
It's so demonic. There's so much power behind it.
Yeah.
And when I found out he was also in Bloodbath, like I didn't know about Bloodbath until after I had listened to fucking Opeth, and then I fucking got the EP and the first album. I was like, Jesus Christ,
Dude,
but
the vocal,
honestly, when Fathomless Mastery came out, like,
oh, that Moth the Cross is just so fucking
dude,
badass.
it was like one of the best death. It was one of my favorite death metal albums. It's
But
it's up
but you're
there.
right though. When I got Resurrection 2 Carnage right around when it came out, and man, the vocals on there are so disgusting, man.
Oh,
Like what's the one song? Is it Slowly We Die or And We Die? And We Die.
I think it's And We Die. I think it's And We
And We
Die.
Die. And We Die. Yeah, there you go. Shit, Ben. Listen
Cry
to
My
you, man.
Name. I think Cry My Name. Yeah, I think that's one.
Cry My Name's great. Shit, I can't remember the names of the songs on there.
I'm trying to. That's why I'm looking them up right now.
Because there's another one that's just so fucking disgusting.
Well, it's kind of weird. Like what hooked me on Opeth back in 2000 or around that time period was actually the mellow vocals too. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
I could hear a bit of Alice in Chains and Pink Floyd in there. You know,
so good, so good. I mean, there's very, very few vocalists in death metal that could equal him as far as a clean singer, and that's what made him so unique. What's the song titles on there?
All right, hold on. Brought it up here. Okay, on Resurrection Through Carnage, Ways to the Grave, awesome. So You Die, not And You Die.
So We Die. So We Die. That's So We Die. That's so
Massive
good.
Strangulation, Death Delirium, Buried by Dead, The Soul Collector, Bathe in Blood, Trail of Insects, Like Fire, and Cry My Name. Cry My Name's
Cry My Name's killer.
the icing on the cake.
Like Fire has that too. It's like Fire. Like, so good. I gotta pull that out because it's been a long time since I listened to that, man. But that, and then you see him on Whacking Carnage, and he just sounds so vicious on there, man. He just sounds so unhinged, you know.
And all the fake blood dripping on him and everything.
Yeah,
like, I mean, like they kind of had fun with like black metal gets all the over the top fucking makeup. Fuck that. We're gonna throw in some greasy shit too. And
they kind of went campy with it. They kind of went almost campy to the point where it's almost funny, but it was like it still was cool. And you know, I'll tell you what though, man. I'm not honestly. I swear when I say this, I think one of my favorite vocals of his is on Brave Murder Day, man. I just love the way he sounds on that album. It's just so fucking. It's almost black metal. It's like the most black metal I think that Mike's ever sounded.
Hold on 1 second. John's messaging me.
What's that?
Maybe on the first two Opeth albums, he had more of a black metal voice.
Yeah, he did. Certainly on the first two, he definitely did. He was more his vocals and the music sounded a little bit more black metalish. It was still death metal, but it had a black metal vibe to it.
It's kind of like if Iron Maiden were to write black metal. That's
There's a lot of Iron Maiden in there for sure. We talked about that in the deep dive. There was a lot of Iron Maiden in those first two Opeth albums.
Oh, the harmonies. You can hear it right there, like, you know.
Early on they did cover.
John's at work.
I was gonna say, is he working?
Yeah, he's working. He wants to learn how to edit. Well, not right now, obviously, since he's working. But no, we did an interview with the band Demericus and trying to figure out like an editing schedule. Like I might be able to do it, but he seems like he really wants to learn how to do it. And so I can teach you, but I need the program in front of me. And you're at work and you work third shift. And if you had time tomorrow, which you probably don't, I could actually show you.
What do you use?
Adobe.
Oh, you do use Adobe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adobe Premiere. It's honestly, it's easier than hell. Like it does not take long to really get used to it.
Do you use a Mac or do you have a Chromebook?
I have a PC.
Oh, yeah, PC. Okay.
Yep. What is this? It's a Omen. I got a tower built, and I pretty much talked to the guys like, listen, here's what I do, and I just told them like, I just edit videos in this. I have an external hard drive to store a fuck ton of music. I was like, we can get you like good video cards, and actually I cut down the price a lot.
What's up, chat? We're
who
not
who did your website? Was that Miller?
Yeah, it's Miller. Miller has some background in web design.
Oh, does he? Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm planning on buying a shirt. Probably. when I get paid on Thursday, I'm thinking about getting a shirt.
Yep, they're nice. I mean, they're kind of it's a cool one of a kind fucking Riddick piece. Which Lee fucking hooked us up. Fucking solid dude.
Yeah, that was
Are you
cool.
going
of him to
MDF
do,
too?
man. Huh?
Is Lee going MDF?
No, not that I know of. MDF? Did you say?
MDF, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's no, I don't think he is. No, I kind of wanted him to. Not that I'm really there yet, because I don't think I'd want to do it until I got a little bigger, maybe like 1,000 or something, 500,000. But he and I were kind of kicking the idea around about him coming up with a cool gas mask and hand grenades design. So
Ooh, that
I
would
don't
be
know
awesome.
whether. Yeah, I don't know whether when we're gonna get there, but I asked him if he'd do it. He said, "Yeah, I'd love to do it." So it's funny though. I think I showed you this, Nick. I think I did, and now I can't find it in the move. I put it somewhere and I can't find it. But he sent me this piece of artwork, and it's a picture of like it's got the porcupine tree imagery from The Sky Moves Sideways, the red phone booth, the British red phone booth, and then it's got some other stuff, and then it's got me on like a stage, but I'm naked. It's the weirdest thing. Like when I
Drew you naked?
well, from behind, it's just my ass, and I have to say, I have a pretty nice ass.
Did you say paint me like your French women?
I never sent him any model pictures, so he must have been using somebody else's ass. but
Well, did he at least did he give you a better ass than you have? I mean,
yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
well, there you should thank him.
I did. I said, dude, my ass looks fucking amazing in this picture.
But I don't even work out that much. This is a lie.
But here's the funniest fucking part of it. And I don't know what prompted him to do this, well, except for that he knew that I was a Rush fan, so he did it kind of in like I'm doing the thing like the guy on the brain is doing on the hemispheres, the pirouette guy,
Yep.
So it's me, only it's my face, and it looks like me, dude. It's fucking crazy how much it looks like me. But here's the fucking pièce de resistance. He's got a fart bubble coming out like a big gaseous cloud coming out of my ass. I'm like, what the fuck is that all about, dude? I'm like, really? Like, what was the thought process that went into that? He goes, I just thought it'd be funny. I'm like, okay. First you're drawing a picture of my ass unsolicited, and you didn't ask me for any pictures. Then you're drawing a fucking gaseous bubble coming out of my ass.
Well,
okay.
Technically, it's not your ass. It's a stun ass.
It's a stun ass.
It's not an ass.
Someone else's ass. They're just it's a lie. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The fart bubble is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That one threw me. I remember saying something to him when he came on the one night. I'm like, dude, I don't know whether to be flattered or really gross the fuck out. I'm not sure what to say about this. I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I'm like flattered that you sent me this and flattered you thought of drawing me something, but then I'm kind of weirded out that you drew my stun ass and you put a gaseous cloud coming out of it. It's like, what do you think I do? Well, no, you know what I think I said to him was, I'm like, did I let one squeak out while we were live or something, man?
Jeff, you're getting older. I mean,
That's true. That's true. Sometimes they just happen. You don't even know. And then if you're a cool customer like me, you just keep talking through them.
When I got home today, my buddy made this rice dish loaded with fucking vegetables, and I think it was rolling through and fucking clearing out everything. I released, God, I think it was like a solid 15-second fart, and my only witness was my fucking cat. And I was like, man, this should have been shared with the world. This was a great fart.
This was epic level right here. This was legendary.
I was proud. I was a proud papa of that fart.
Oh shit. Before we went live, dude, I was feeding my dog Doritos.
Oh Jesus.
Dude, you're gonna wake up to a hot, nasty dog fart.
There's a funny meme going around on Instagram of this. It's a bulldog. Did you see that one? The bulldog is trying to get up on the couch, and he's got one leg up, and he's got his two front paws up. He's got his one leg up, and somebody's filming it, and you see the dog start to bounce, but he loses it and goes back down, and then you hear him go, and the dog's ass rockets up on the fucking couch. It's fucking.
No, I didn't see that
It's like
one.
it's like he just needed that little extra push from the fucking release of the gas. It was fucking hysterical, man.
Propelled.
Yeah. Well, it's better than Amber Heard, I guess.
Amber Turd.
Amber Heard.
Oh, all right. I am gonna jump off though. It is
roll
almost
on.
3:30 in the morning.
Oh wow, is it that late?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
shit. Fuck.
What happens when you have fun conversations about metal
Oh,
and
yeah.
gas?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Metal and gas. Not
Metal
necessarily
gas.
not necessarily in that order.
No, I mean we got to the gas part. We had to talk about farts at least once.
Yeah, at least you got to, man. It's like
But
it's the
yeah,
it's only
thanks for having me,
masculine
guys.
thing to do. All right, brother.
always fun to talk, and I'll catch you guys later.
I'd see him.
Probably gonna head out to myself. All right, guys.
All right, you ready to roll?
Yeah, I think I'm
Nice.
gonna end the stream, man. It's been fun though.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for having me on, and yeah, it was good. What happened to Brian? Did he just bail or what?
I guess maybe he went to bed.
He just kind of disappeared. He was
Yeah.
talking 1 minute, and then he just was gone.
Right. Yeah, it's
Huh.
kind of weird.
That is weird. All right, man. Well, let me know if you're going to go to. You got my Instagram there, so let me know if you're going to think about going to Maryland Death Fest, and maybe I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Maybe ride down or something like that, depending on what
Oh,
the
yeah,
deal
man.
is. I mean,
I'll get you up.
I'm definitely thinking of going down Sunday. That's probably the day. I can't do all of them. I don't have the money, and B, my medical situation won't. I just won't feel well after a day of doing that. I'll get through a day, but I won't be able to do much more in a day. So it's looking like Sunday's the best day for me. So, but I do want to try to get down to meet up with Nick and Devin and Jimmy. There's a whole bunch of guys going, so I'm hoping to do that. So, be cool if you could make it.
Yeah, man. I want to go, man, because I get out at 7 a.m. I'd probably have to pretty much drive. I'd probably have to pretty much leave from work and drive straight down. But
Well,
that's fine.
actually, probably not. Hang on, give me a minute here. Let me look at something. Because if you're only going for the Edison lot, which the other shows are sold out, technically speaking, so the only ones that you could easily get tickets for. What time are you off?
7 a.m.
All right, so the first band is 12:30.
Oh,
But
plenty
but-
of time.
But to be honest with you, the first, what I would call good band, isn't really until 3:00.
Right.
I mean, there's Nunslaughter, which I don't know. They're all right. I'm not crazy about them. There's Necrofire, which I've never even heard of, and Sacrilegia. But then after that is like the first really good band is Nocturnus AD, and then Blood Incantation, and then Demolich, and then Destruction, and then Immolation, then Triumph of Death, then Hypocrisy, then Deicide. So, you wouldn't necessarily have to run right out the door. You could probably come home and get 3 or 4 hours sleep, maybe
True.
even 5 hours, because you're only about an hour and a half away.
Yeah, it's not that far.
It's not a vicious run, yeah. But again, it's $65. That's a real killer deal for all those
That's-
bands.
Dude, that's a fucking steal.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I was surprised when I pulled that up. I'm like, that price can't be right. And then I'm looking, I'm like, fuck, it is. And actually, I thought, you know what's going to happen? We're going to get to the end, and I'm going to get to the end, and there's going to be like $40 in fees or something. No fees, dude. $65. That's it. That's a fucking steal, like you said. So,
Gotta
All right,
go.
brother. I'll let you go, bud.
All right, man. Thanks for joining, bro.
All right, brother. See you around, man.
All right, take care, man.
Have a good one, Ben. Later.
You too, bro. All right. Hello, Karen. Scott Metal 666. What's up? Jake YouTuber 01. Welcome to. Man, fun stream tonight. Anyways, I'm out for tonight. Keep it metal and keep it real and fuck mumble rap. There we go.